Nickelodeon.
Go.
We are visually live and Michael dropping our theme music. Hello.
Hello.
Who's that? Welcome to Probability of Demise, our podcast.
Where there's four of us.
There's four now. We've added up. We are a actual play D&D podcast, mucking around, having our own fun with our Andy fan, and enjoying a bit of Chardonnay to celebrate the return of Tanzanite's player, Jess.
Hi.
Who's providing currently comic relief.
It's this one. It's this one.
It's
this one. Oh dear.
I am Rurik, your DM.
Good.
Larissa is technical support,
That one. Yeah.
also known as Trixie.
I mean, Larissa.
And are you plugged in?
I hope.
No, you
Yes,
are. You
yeah.
are now.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
I cannot hear me.
Are you?
Am I plugged in?
Are you?
Okay. And Jason is our audio engineer
Right.
/ writer. Plays Asher. So really quickly again, I am DMing Rurik. Happy day of whatever this is.
Day of humps.
the humpy,
Day of hump.
the
Is
humpiest
it?
day.
Oh my gosh, it is.
We've been playing on the humpy day, and Larissa playing Trixie, Jess playing Tanzanite,
Oh, now
and Jason playing Asher. We apologize for our puns and memes, lies.
Puns and knees.
Larissa,
Yeah.
please, do you have any announcements for us?
I do.
Sweet. Let me
Are
stop.
you queer? No.
Yes.
If you, yes. Okay. If you enjoy choral music, but specifically in this case, that of the Great White Way and the Gilded Stage kind, as in Broadway and opera, you should come see the Stonewall Chorale's Pride concert. It is called Curtain Up. And we are doing a lot of Verdi. We're doing, we're doing Carmen. We're doing a heck of a lot of Sondheim. It's like a 20-minute medley. We're doing music from Dear Evan Hansen. We're doing
We'd sing you some, but they'll
Rent.
sue us.
Yes,
The Sondheim
exactly.
estate is very
Especially,
suey.
yes. So, yeah. So if you're interested, you can get tickets at stonewallchorale.org/buy-tickets. It's taking place on Thursday, June 9th at Church of the Holy Apostles, which is located on 9th Avenue and 28th Street. And if you don't live in the NYC area, that's all right, because we will have an online premiere. Well, yes, online premiere of a live recording of the concert later in the month.
I think at work we call that a simulive.
Oh, yeah?
Wow.
Simulated live launch.
So I have a really quick question from the fans. Maybe
Any questions?
me being one of them. Are you going to send me copies so I can put it into the description? Or are you going to put it into the description yourself or something? Because last time we didn't get it.
Well,
and that
I
was
don't think
hunting.
I've been here for announcements the last three
Well,
sessions.
no, the
in a
last
row.
2 sessions you definitely didn't get the chance, but I'm just checking in.
Why are you Southern today?
Hanging around with Jess for 5 seconds just does it to me.
Aw, shoot.
She brings the South out in me.
Let's put it under technical.
Yeah. done that.
Paste. There it
Beautiful.
is.
All right.
There it is.
Jason, any announcements for us?
Yes. Hello.
Hello.
That's all I got.
I have an announcement in relation to Jason.
Oh.
Jason has a solo at our concert.
What?
Oh.
Ooh, that's
Yes.
It took so... Get back on the mic. Don't be scared.
So
Yes, that's true.
I've lost all inhibitions. I'm just going to boss you around with regards
So
to
wait,
mites.
what? I'm gonna need to re-listen to these dates because I wasn't listening.
Thursday, June 9th.
9th.
Yeah, just do it in the southern accent. It just like it
Yeah.
penetrates. It hits her primal brain, and she goes, "Oh yeah,
Right.
I get this." Just
That's
we
it.
found out last week that Jason actually believes I'm a real friend now because he tuned me out.
Yes. You-
What were you talking? Huh?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Jess, it is that moment that we've all been waiting for weeks and weeks. I mean, people played in as they could, but what is the word of the day?
Word of the day.
Word of the day.
No, I feel like there's too much pressure.
Nope.
It's bad.
No, there are no such thing as bad words.
Oh, it's gotten wonky, so you can't.
I wouldn't say there's no such thing as bad words. That's...
Not bad words of the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
The word of the day is unicycle.
Hey.
I had a
None of
friend-
that.
Trauma.
That's enough.
Sorry.
I had a friend who,
Flashbacks.
an old, like one of my best friends from high school, desperately tried to learn to ride a unicycle when we were roommates after high school, and he fell so many times and hurt himself. But he was also very drunk most of the time when he was trying to learn it.
But he can juggle.
He can juggle.
Yeah.
I can juggle.
Can you?
I can.
I can't.
A whole 3 balls for about 3 seconds.
Hey.
I can do like a da 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 da.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's what I got too. I can do it. I can do it for sometimes like maybe up to 10 seconds on a really good shot.
Yeah.
But mostly it's like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
I can't
Enough to
juggle,
prove that
but
I
I can
can.
hacky sack.
That's impressive. I always wanted to learn how to do
Well,
that.
I used to be able to hacky sack. I don't think I could do it anymore.
Oh yeah.
That's definitely a teenager thing. My
Yeah,
legs don't bend that way anymore.
That's a limber ligament kind of. Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, I got it. Oh, my back.
Well, I tried to catch my balance with my arm. My arm would fall off, and then I'd just be collapsed mud on the ground. So thank you, everybody. Welcome back.
And then the
We're very
hacky
glad
sack lands on
to
your face.
have you all
Like,
here.
you touch the ground, I win.
Going to take us back into the world of Earth, post-apocalyptic, and the land of Atland. Last time we were gathered together, we got to see some cool things happen. There was some magic, the likes of which Tanzanite has never heard of, and some impressive actions. But it started off innocently enough with 2 friends going off in search of their other friend after having fulfilled their commitment. 3 friends going off in search of their 4th or of their quartet after having
Yeah, we haven't killed Bonnie yet, don't we?
after having fulfilled their commitment to the village and seeing to, at least in as much as they're able to determine, that's loud, the security of Fisherton. Caught before leaving, Asher spoke with Grand of Grand's Brands and found out that 2 scouts sent before who had provided some intelligence about the possible whereabouts of Tanzanite were lost, and provided Asher with a way to communicate and scout and provide information for the caravan that was going to soon follow them.
Oh, they did.
And hopefully they'll provide that information. And then merely a few hours outside of Fisherton, Asher and Trixie set up camp, and some strange thumping was heard during the night.
Are you saying something went bump in the night?
Something definitely went bump in the night. Ignored most of the evening and finally investigated towards morning. They discovered a silvered chest. The thumping noises coming from within, and upon opening said chest up, they found one of the beings who had kind of zipped around Overton with them and helped them out. Only even as they watched, this creature aged dramatically and quickly. And after sharing a little bit of information, quick little chat, actually left the world before their very eyes. They very kindly and with love for a creature that they had really barely known, but yet were a huge part of this being's life, given that its entire life lasted for what I think we discovered was about a year. They provided some last rites and also provided for the transport of the box it was trapped within back to its people, not for the box itself, but for the writing within that the creature had inscribed on the inside. They had initially planned to wait for Grand and the caravan, only to discover that the caravan was going to take a little while. And then were able to get a representative of Grand's brands to come, and this representative seemed to take things very much in hand and eschewing the services of Grand himself, sought out some services in the woods to perform this errand. All that to say, that was the least magical event of the session, because not more than a few minutes later, Asher disappeared, and in his place was a young juvenile rock. Some sort of
ROC, not ROCK.
Yes.
magical ability had taken form and reformed. Those of you who are D&D super nerds, I did homebrew a juvenile rock just so that we'd have the right challenge rating. So go away. And flew himself and his 2 compatriots and 3 kitties, 2 of which have found perches on the fore end of his wings, quite a distance, achieving in the course of the hour that the spell lasted, a distance equivalent to at least a half a day, if not a full day's journey. And then continuing in this manner, collecting some cocoons as necessary with some various other pieces in between, continued that journey and shortened a trip that would have taken them 3 weeks within a week. They are now outside of a small village, about a day's foot journey away. And in as much as they were able to see on the way down to their landing, could make out that this did appear to be the village as described by Brand's scouts, and settling in for the night. What are the 2 of you up to?
Wait, we're on the outskirts of the city?
You're about a day's journey
Right,
by
right,
foot.
right. Sorry. Okay. And it's at night.
Yeah, you're coming up on an evening.
Guess we should stop.
Well, yeah, we should sleep, but in terms of tomorrow, are we... I mean, we're just going to walk up in there, or...
I could see really well with the flying thing. Maybe I should do that again and like scope it out.
in the morning?
Yeah.
I'm sure. I mean, that if that feel, I mean, as long as they aren't gonna like attack you or anything.
I mean, I think I could. I don't even think they would see me. Like, I could fly high enough.
You're pretty big. I don't even think. I mean, you would still be visible in the sky. They may not understand how big you are because of how far away you'd be.
I
but
could see Fisherton's on the second day.
Hmm?
If I looked behind us, I could see Fisherton from the sky on the second day.
I know.
Just saying, like, if I flew straight up from here, I don't even think they would see me.
Hard to say. Again, do you understand how big you get?
Maybe.
Roll an intelligence check.
I'm very dumb. That's a 3.
Oh no, you think you're just like a slightly bigger bird. She's tiny. Of course she thinks you're huge.
If I want to hold on, I grab a feather each hand.
Wow.
That's how big he is.
That's out of character talk, but yes.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't think I was that big. Like a small hut or like the bookshop, maybe.
Try like times 10.
Wow, really?
Yes.
Hmm.
You're gigantic.
Gargantuan.
I don't often
D&D
get a chance
technical.
to use that word. And I
love
turned
it.
to Bonnie and I'm like, tell him. Like,
Oh, you're bigger than the ice wall.
taller.
That's pretty cool. Does anybody else want to try it? I could think I could do it to somebody else.
Bonnie perks up.
Okay, just remember you didn't like being a crab, so just keep that in mind. I don't want you to be scared.
There's only 4,
Yes.
not 8.
Right.
And
Okay, just remember how big you're going to get. You got to be careful of the rest of us, all right?
I'm ready.
Okay. In the morning. I can't do it again today.
So then she's going to scout? Are you,
I have to sleep first.
Okay, let's go to bed. I'll take first watch.
Oh, okay. You want middle or I'm assuming you don't want the morning because you want to sleep.
I'll take first and second watch. It's okay.
No, we each take a
I'm not
watch.
gonna
That's how
let
it
you-
works.
Turn into a giant bird when you're exhausted. So,
That.
I'll take middle watch.
All right. I'll get up early then.
You can just like for the first as you're settling in and getting Bonnie is just a huge smile. She's no longer a Triton-esque individual. She is the feral teeth of her people staring up at the sky. Extremely pleased.
Just waiting.
Letting her see beyond her
And she
level.
is so into what she's doing that when it's time, she wakes up, Asher. I didn't hear anything. It seems good.
Okay. I'm gonna get up. And, like, do we have like coffee?
I'm sure you have a beverage of sorts that you've probably procured in addition to the hardtack.
I was just wondering if I could like put coffee on for the guard shift of the shitty middle of the night.
And yeah, there's something like that. Coffee or an
Tea
equivalent.
or something. Yeah.
You know, it's probably like diluted with something.
I feel like tea is probably more accurate, but yeah, I'll just put like some kind of hot beverage on the fire to
Yeah.
like sip and
Occupy yourself. And
brood as the wind blows through my hair. You know,
the bard in their true poetic glory. All right. Go ahead and roll your perception check for the watch.
Bye-bye.
16. That's my best perception roll on a camp. Just throwing that
Yes.
out there.
Yeah. Last week, you was oblivious.
You had a really good roll there. The group had actually a pretty good night one of the nights. So with a 16, most of the night goes without any events whatsoever, but there does become a point where you're startled because Trixie suddenly bolts upright. What message did you send?
Oh shit! What did I
Do you need me to say it?
Can find it 1 second. I
Oh,
said.
y'all been talking behind our backs.
Of course I'll hire.
Oh,
Although
these
somebody
two. I
doesn't
thought you meant me and
respond.
I thought you meant Trixie and
So-
Tanzanite.
She hears in a box limitating me. I believe I'm in a forest and heading to Canyonville, I think. Please help.
What?
What's the matter?
we're just outside Canyonville, one day away. Any idea how many are with you? Question mark?
Did you say the words question mark?
And you see, you get that message, or suddenly you feel it sealing off again, and you hear somebody pounding a nail into the crate that you're in. But you are wide awake, and you definitely noticed her wake up. Bonnie is completely zonked.
Because you have to say it out loud, right, for message?
Yeah, and you heard her speak.
Is that Tanzanite?
Yeah. I mean, she's still on the way to Canyonville. That's they've like put her in some sort of box. I don't know if it keeps her from reaching out or like if she can only. I don't know, but they're still on their way, so we must be close. Maybe she's nearby. You don't have any way to like find things, do you?
No.
We had a saying, but it's not a spell or anything. It doesn't actually like work.
What do you mean?
It's just something that we say to basically make ourselves feel better for losing something and put the responsibility of finding it out of our own hands.
What is it?
It's stupid.
Oh, just tell me.
Saint Tinny, go round and round. Something's lost and can't be found.
Who's Saint Tinny?
No, it's just one word, Saint Tinny.
Oh, what does that mean?
I don't know. It's just a saying. It's something my mom said.
Does it work?
No, well, that's what I mean. It's not a spell. It's just something we say when we can't find something, and then if we can't find it, we feel better because it's not necessarily our fault. It's because that, like, it didn't work, even though it's not actually a spell.
I'm not long rested yet, right? Because
Not yet.
Okay. I mean, I don't know how much good it would do to wander around in the dark, but we could look around a little bit.
Oh, I mean, we wouldn't be in like the dark because I have my goggles, but like, I mean, no, because it's my watch, and you have to sleep. Shit. I don't know what to do. We just.
I guess we just go back to sleep and find her in the morning. I don't.
Wait.
Or we start walking toward Canyonville, like we pack up and go.
Well, maybe, Bonnie. Do you think
She's asleep.
Oh shit.
You have to wake her up.
No, I'll let her.
Maybe
sleep.
Bonnie has a finding spell. I don't have one.
No. I was gonna try to. I feel like I look stupid when I do this, and I sit but not cross-legged because my legs don't do that. I don't know your name, but I think we're close to your disciple. Any chance you could kind of help us find her before they move her, like, and we lose the trail? It sounds like she can't really reach out to you herself, so stupid.
Roll a religion check.
Crackening lightning. Big wind blows through.
And then Thor comes in with a superhero landing.
Religion. I had it up. What the heck? I had her up. Hello. 13.
At most, you feel a little bit of a tiny bit of a compulsion to go look, but it's so fleeting you can't tell if it's your own or something from outside. And it's impossible to diagnose if this is your own need to find your friend or some whisper of guidance from a being that you don't comprehend.
Are there like trees around, like tall trees?
Just off path a bit away, you could walk over to that forested area. That's where Bonnie usually goes to as you've been traveling up the pathway, because you've been using the pathway as your trajectory. There's kind of, at this point, a bit of a cliff face off to the right side of the path, but it's a wide area.
These are the woods we were told not to go into?
Yes. Bonnie has gone in there almost every night.
I am
looking for milkweed.
I'm going to say, where nothing exists, my words will create something. Yeah, look at this thing. And then Looking Glass is going to appear.
All right.
And I'll be like, I'm not a good climber. Do you want to climb a tree and look around?
Looking. I was thinking like a mirror.
So that's where I went.
Into the Looking Glass. Telescope. Like a...
Okay.
It's an eyeglass.
I'm thinking like the
Eyeglass.
like you would see
Like a
like a
pirate.
pirate thing
Yeah.
where you roll up the leather with the lenses on each end.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely something that Asher has seen because he hangs out with me. I'm sure that you have seen them in the smaller, more rugged versions amongst your father's people. I don't know that anybody underground ever really relies on the seeing device. The moon elf people.
Yeah. I suppose. I won't go too far in.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna take the spy class.
Remind me if we don't long rest, and I'll put that I use that because I only get once.
I climb up the nearest but tallest tree that I can tell at least along the.
Right. Go ahead and roll an athletics check to see your climb. You do have advantage on that because you're squirreliness, or is it?
I mean, I didn't
Okay.
write it in because I didn't know how, but I feel like I don't know.
I'll give you advantage on it. You're a squirrel.
Squirrel climbing a tree.
Initially, it's a 12, or a.
There might be
24.
certain climbing things that wouldn't be to your benefit, but I feel like, trees are
climbing a
your
tree.
place.
Well, we'll call it my favorite terrain.
Your favorite climbing terrain is this tree. Okay, so what'd you get?
With advantage, it would be 24.
Okay, so yes, you're able to squirrel your way up there.
I am going to scan the horizon to see if I can see any sort of like proof of like an encampment, like a smoke from a fire, or light from another campfire, or any other signs of life in the immediate like 360.
So the spyglass doesn't interface well with your night vision goggles. Because
Right.
that just doesn't happen.
I guess I would have taken them off
beyond 60 feet. So you're going to be rolling this with disadvantage.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll a perception check with disadvantage. You wouldn't be able to see this at all without.
12.
Okay, with a 12, it's less that you can make out locations in the direction from which he indicated that he had seen the village that you're coming up on. You can see a glow. And as you bring your spyglass in that direction, you can make out that whatever evening light from square fires or homes or whatever is creating little bit of a glowing bubble. And then looking around, first off, the majesty of a place outside of Overton is that there's no light pollution here, really. That you can make out the small home fires of this little village is in itself amazing, because the stars that you can see are uncountable. In fact, as you look up and around, and it's a distraction for a moment, you can see the moon that you know, and there's another object, smaller, that you've never seen before, up in the sky as well. And it seems just as distant and pockmarked and crazed as the moon itself. And then as you allow your eyes to trail, you catch sight of a few blinking stars that are moving much too quickly to be normal stars, but yet they aren't shooting stars. And you've seen shooting stars before. And then following your line of sight down and rescanning the forest, there's no more other glows.
I'm gonna head back down.
All right. Go ahead and climb down and roll an athletics check just for funny. With advantage. I just want to see how the descent goes.
That's a natural 20.
Yeah, you're like rappelling without a rope. You're just like boing, 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 branch to branch. You're down there.
The last 20 feet is a sextuple backflip
Yeah, it's gorgeous and beautiful. And
with a superhero landing.
all right. So at this point, it would be your turn for watch, unless you are either engaging in anything or continuing to have a
I'm just gonna
conversation.
report back what I saw and say it's dark, but it's not like it's really dark out. But the only light I can see is from the town. So unless she's there, I don't see any other camps or anything.
All right. I mean, she could be on a different road. We don't know if there's other roads or.
Yeah.
Let's just wait till morning. When Bonnie's the birch, you should be able to see everything.
Okay. Hopefully we can keep her focused.
All right.
I can't take it away from her now.
No, I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying that you were hesitant and kind of careful about it. She seems extremely excited, and it's going to be...
Yeah, we should stand back when that happens.
Yeah, hopefully she won't... Yes.
Roll your perception check. Gonna move us along a little bit.
That's a nat 1.
The rest of the night goes uneventfully because
Hey.
mostly you were lucky and I rolled like garbage earlier, and because you are asleep. I think the excitement caught up with you, and you just, between worry and concern and knowing that or feeling like you're getting closer, you just brain zilched out at one point and you just fell asleep.
I miss my friend.
Both of you are awakened by Bonnie. Hey, it's morning. It's morning. The sun is barely cracking the horizon.
I'm gonna open my eyes, but all right. I need the cocoon thing.
Here. You feel 3 of them in your hand.
I'm gonna put 2 of them away for later, and then I'm like, all right. So we need you. Trixie got a message last night from Tanzanite.
Oh.
And she said she is in a box. Maybe like the box that our friend back there was in. Like a couple weeks ago. We've skipped a couple weeks now, right?
It's been a week since that.
Okay. And
You saved 2 weeks of travel time
Right.
to this location that's halfway between Canyonville and...
okay. So like a week ago, like maybe it's the same people that put them in there. I don't know, but yeah. So look for people like traveling toward Canyonville on this road. Maybe if there's other ones, and if you find something, come back and get us.
Oh, okay. Come back. Yes, I'll do that.
Okay.
Just don't get hurt.
I have to prepare.
Okay,
to
I'll be good.
talk amongst
That's not what I said. I said don't get hurt.
I'm not trying to. Be kind of hard. So big.
Are you gonna hurt anyone else?
If I find, I mean, I'm gonna come back and get you. I will. I promise.
Before you hurt anyone.
Unless they're hurting her.
Unless you catch someone in the act of physically hurting Tanzanite.
I will screech really loudly, so you know,
Okay.
like he did the time he scared.
Yeah. So just be conscious. Be conscious of your effect on other people, like, and be sure that they're bad people and that you're not scaring good people.
Don't worry. I'm the hunter now.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk away before I try to convince you not to do this, and I just kind of like just go, and I'm like, I have my hands over my ears, staring at the forest, just.
Bonnie, you're freaking me out a little bit.
Here, you might want to hold this. I don't want to lose it. She hands you her bow.
Good call.
You can see her little pointed teeth, which she doesn't usually show.
All right. I'll put her bow like with my stuff, and then like I'm gonna rub the thing in my hands and be like, "Lie away, my dear friend. Think big avian giant. Enjoy yourself up there."
So as she goes through the same process that Asher went through, and her arms just explode out from her, her body balloons out, her head tilts back, and she comes back down, and there's a terrible screeching sound that reverberates through the woods. And it's not but a few seconds more before she starts trying to take off for the
Out of
first
curiosity,
time.
where is her cat? Still hanging on somewhere, probably.
Roll a perception check.
12.
You don't see it anywhere on the ground with her belongings. You hope it's on her. And then she just tries to take off, and it's not the prettiest of takeoffs. His takeoff that first time was just a majestic soaring, nat 20, flying off into the air. Hers is more of a fledgling trying to get its bearings,
Orville trying to
bit
take
of-
off from the rescuers.
tumbling, a bit of wobbling, and then eventually she looks over at the cliff edge.
Almost
Looks
like
back
a,
towards the two of
almost
you.
like a druid that's not high enough level to do
I'm
this
still
yet.
got my back turned. I'm looking at the trees. I can't watch this.
And with
so-
another screech, this one more.
I'm just gonna like shrug, like,
She just goes jotting off to the cliff edge and leaps from it, catches wind, and begins circling up as she allows the instincts to take over.
So since I stopped hearing screaming, we're just gonna go like.
I really hope she doesn't eat somebody because I think she'll regret that later.
All right.
I maybe should have warned her about the urge to eat somebody.
I'm sorry. What?
What? I didn't say anything.
No, you did say something.
Maybe not somebody, but like hunting urge. It's a bird of prey.
She had that before she turned into a bird. Really? Come on, dude. If she eats someone, that's on you.
All right.
It's on you.
Tanzanite. Tanzanite, would you roll a perception check? I would actually like you to roll 4 perception checks.
Jesus Christ.
These are all based on hearing.
All right.
We're going to use that to figure out where you got.
now. You're in a box.
Perception.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
One's a nat 20.
Hey.
Sweet.
One is a 14.
Okay.
17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 23.
Okay.
19.
Okay. So 3 of those succeed. And on those 3 successes, you hear 3 bits of intelligence. And these all occur
I bet one's a screeching bird.
after the time. They all occur after the time you're able to send that last message. You've been listening in on a lot of the things, and you've actually been picking up a little bit of a new language that you're not sure exactly what it is yet. But you've been in this box for a long time, and while you've been given food through a slot in the box, you just heard them nail it shut.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing you hear is a discussion where it's broken up, but you make out the idea that they're going to drag you through the wood. And not long after that, suiting action to words, you can feel the box that you're in lifted off of the wheeled contraption that you'd been on and kind of thumped through the pathway up until this point and onto what from the sound is like a soft, loamy sort of material, and then you can hear your box being dragged. And that goes on through much of the night. The next thing you can hear is someone saying, "Kill the sacrifices. It is time." And the last bit of information you're able to pick up is a screech of a bird of prey far off in the distance. But for whatever reason, it gives you hope. You've been trapped in this box for way too long. It's filthy. Between the leavings of food and just being trapped in here.
Ew.
The occasional rain seeping through and washing things away and creating a new series of discomforts. This is the worst experience of your life. Even in an initiation ritual, there was nothing this uncomfortable and this horrible. And it feels like every time you garner enough power to do something, it gets sucked away. What are you doing, and how are you feeling in this moment, in this time? Hearing sacrifices cry their last cries. Definitely humanoid.
And there's no other holes or anything to like look through.
I would say over the time you've searched pretty hard, probably even try to work away at different points. How hard would you have worked to like work away at the wood? Like, would you have done damage to yourself and then continue to do the damage to yourself? How far would you have gone? And if you need to, we can do a constitution roll to see how far you would push yourself.
These are good questions for a prissy, selfish girl who's never had to do anything.
But
Would
yet has
she
been
have?
undergoing a lot of uncomfortable torture in her mind, at least, and imprisonment, confinement, and isolation for a week and a half at this point.
Yeah, I feel like she definitely would have. I think she would have gone as far as she could, and then as soon as she got hurt, like that first time, she would have stopped. And then she would try again, and then if she got hurt, she'd go a little bit further, and then stop. You know, like kind of building up the, like, almost like pain tolerance, maybe?
Becoming more and more immune to the effects of this experience.
Yeah.
I'd like you to roll 2 Constitution saving throws.
That's not what I wanted. This is what I wanted. Okay, Constitution. Yeepa. Okay. So it'll be an 18 and a 6.
I think the first time we'll just kind of invert those because it makes more sense narratively that the first time it just took you a lot to get over it. But then as you kept recovering and trying, you became more and more capable, willing to put yourself to more and more pain. And you know where you've been digging away at the wood, where you've created a depression. You have no idea how much deeper you have to go. But right now in this moment, you can go ahead and try something in that spot. What are you going to try? You've been scratching away at it slowly. Your nails are no longer pristine.
And there's nothing on me, right? Like they took everything.
Yeah, they left you with bare bones clothes, your diadem and jewelry is all gone.
Is it? I assume it's somewhere up near the top half of me if I'm picking away. Is
It
there
is an
any
itchy
way to like
feeling.
get an elbow in it and try to like?
You're gonna try to like elbow slam it?
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll an acrobatics check. This isn't necessarily to do an acrobatics move. It's just, are you dexterous enough in this space? Are you
Yeah.
able to be a contortionist enough? And that's where the acrobatics piece is coming in. Are you able to contort enough to place yourself to do a blow? And if you roll a 15 or higher, I'll let you have advantage on the attack. If you roll less than that, it'll vary down to 5 being...
It's a solid 6.
Woo!
Okay. So this is just a regular attack roll. Roll an unarmed attack against enchanted silver wood.
Great.
You can do it. You can do it. All the power is in it.
Oh, here. Okay. Found it. So it would have been that's not right math. 15, 16, 17, 18. No, it is 19.
Okay, 19
Like the
definitely.
hit.
You're definitely hitting. You're going to hit the layers. Roll damage to see how successful this is.
Let's see.
And
I
it's
guess it's just 2 because it doesn't say I get a die at all.
okay. Okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Sorry.
So 2.
2. All right. You hit, and you can feel splintering. Roll a perception check.
I assume they heard it, but I don't know what else to do.
This isn't about them hearing it.
How good does a rock here?
Oh, I rolled her.
Ah! 14.
Okay. You're able to kind of place your hand to feel, and you can't see anything. There's no light. So you assume that it's dark because you do feel a tiny, tiny bit of air movement coming from the place that you hit.
Mm.
And you start to feel yourself, you're exhausted, you're beat up, but you start to feel yourself get a trickle of that power coming back. You don't have a single ounce of energy to do or cast anything, but you're starting to feel things feed back into you. And I need you to roll a religion check.
Why is my religion so low? Okay.
Not very devout.
Medium. 17.
It's weak, but you get a sense that your deity is almost as weak as you are right now, but celebrating you being there. It's almost like she's being held back. But you can see that she's trying to feed you everything she can, even though it's not effective yet. And two of you. It's about time where she's going to lose the form and she hasn't returned. And you know how long it lasts. You've had a week of travel and you're starting to get concerned. You've heard screeches occasionally, but none of them of the alarmed sort that you would have expected for a warning. And finally, as the 11th hour approaches, you can see in the distance a small speck of a bird growing larger and larger, and you know this isn't a false alarm anymore because it's getting too big. And then just as you think she's about to just land where she is, you see a sudden plummet, and you see trees collapse to side, and you hear the raucous thumping of the worst landing ever recorded in the history of landings. And then suddenly, almost too quickly, the trees stop collapsing, and you hear a very humanoid screech of, "That was the best! I know where she is!"
Guess that went well.
She's still off in the forest somewhere, but she's definitely landed.
I assume we've
And
like
she's definitely back to being
packed up
humanoid.
at this point, probably like while we were waiting because we were expecting to go.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So I'm just gonna like grab my pack and probably Bonnie's pack and like head towards where she crashed, I guess.
Yeah, I'll grab mine and Tanzanite's stuff.
Okay. So
Good thing
You-
you're strong.
get to trekking. You get to trekking. Could you roll who's heading off first?
I did, I guess.
Roll a nature check just to see if you're able to maintain your travel awareness as you're going in that direction.
Man, those birds are going nuts.
It's the woods. We're in the woods.
They're doing thematics.
14.
14. So with a 14, you're able to make it out, and it helps that she's not being subtle. And she's marching through the bushes, and when you finally come across her, it's like a 15-20 minute march through the woods. But again, she's not being subtle. When you get up to where she's walking through the woods, she looks a little bruised. She's got things in her hair, and she's got the biggest smile on her face as Bonnie has transformed from a little bit of a timid individual to, "Flying's the best. I know where she is. 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 Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's
Okay,
go."
oh, okay. It's okay. We can't all.
No. They're killing people.
Okay, I
We gotta
know.
go. We gotta go.
I know, but I mean, we can't.
No. They're killing them right now.
How would you propose we move faster? You can't make us. We can't fly again.
Oh, you're right. This sucks.
So, we'll go. We will. I mean, we can push ourselves, but we're not going to be any good when we get there.
Okay, I'm gonna give Bonnie her pack and then I'm gonna help carry Tanzanite stuff so we can like run.
She pitches in where she can, and it's interesting that she, like, as she pitches in, she's kind of, that anger is bubbling under, like it's the thing that happens when you crash between highs and lows, right?
Yeah.
She just hit a low because she's so angry, though.
Right.
She's taking the sorrow and it's kind of bubbling out her and rages, and you almost see the woods move out of her way as she comes, as she's just channeling her
Druid
druidic
shit.
ability, being like, "Get out of the way," and branches are just moving out of the way.
That's gonna be it. Okay.
I guess we kind of
But they come back
fall
and
in.
smack you.
Yeah. Well, I'm short, so I
Oh,
duck.
they smack you then.
Don't worry, I'm blocking them with your tiaras.
The bag of tiaras, ching, 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 every few seconds. So yeah, you're all making your way, and then kind of abruptly, Bonnie stops. Sorry, I need to search this. Be faster, oh great computer. Okay, she stops pretty abruptly and turns to the two of you and goes, okay, I should have said this before. And she gets very quiet. They're killing people. They look like poor people. Like the people who chopped wood at the fish town. Like the people who were burning the lie.
Mm-hmm.
They don't look like... they're killing them.
They're killing. Those are the people they're killing. Okay.
How many people are there? Like, how many
How
are
many
doing
bad people?
Oh, I didn't...
Is there a leader?
There's one with a big thing over their head, and they have a beak, but people don't have beaks, so I don't know what that one is.
Okay.
And they're holding they're shouting things, and they're the one who.
I go. I'm gonna start
Wait.
but I'm not like I'm like
She turns to you and goes,
quiet.
I have a way to help us.
Okay.
I hope she's good. And she kind of waves in the air and reaches out and touches you. And you have Pass Without a Trace on you and herself and the cats.
Okay.
You know, she's not going to stop without the cats getting Pass Without a Trace.
Right. Of
I'm
course. Priorities.
I'm gonna say.
Well, you moved out of range, so
No, it's fine.
had to add it to somebody.
No, that's
All right, what are you?
Oh, I was gonna say. There's no reason not to always do your best, so give it your all, and I'm gonna give her bardic inspiration as she's walking away.
Okay. So roll a stealth check. It's going to be a group stealth check, more or less, although you're in the lead, so I'm going to have you on point.
Boo. 13.
13. Okay. 16. Awesome. To your 13, you need to add 10. So you are at 23. She's going to add... Oh, not 20. You don't know where she went.
One with the dirt.
Nobody knows where she
I am
went.
dirt.
With that,
I am Groot.
plus
I am
her
dirt.
plus 3 plus 10. She's at like a 33. She is a ghost of a whisper of a wind. She is as close to being a dryad as she ever can be right now.
She's a leaf on the wind.
Hey.
She is the aphid that rode the leaf on the wind. She is unseen and unheard. So you all make your way close to this encampment, and you're able to hear some of the last screams of the current victim. And then go ahead and roll a perception check.
21.
Okay.
I wasn't sure if it was both of
Oh,
us.
yeah, you're both getting up there.
Perception. Okay, 13.
Damn, Bonnie. So you make out Bonnie's invisible and sees everything. She just rolled that 20. And she's got high wisdom, so it's just like, this is getting stupid. You are able to make out a what looks like a ritual altar situation, and an individual there. There's a group of people off to the side, and they seem disinterested. Some are actually grossed out by what's going on, and you can see that they are not amused with the current situation. But they also definitely appear to be the ones who brought the other folks here. And there's another circle of folk who is unchaining what looks like a group of hunters and dragging them up to an individual with a huge cowl and some sort of buzzard-like beak sticking out of it, for that individual to incant some phrases that can't be made out very well, and then reach up with this very ceremonial looking dagger before plunging it down. And again, as you're here and you're seeing the next prep be set up, you can already see that the individuals at that far corner, you can make out that they are standing in front of a silver box, very similar to the one you saw before. And they appear disgusted and like they're preparing to pick up the box and move on, leave this area. I think that the general sense that you can pick up, go ahead and roll an insight check since you rolled so high. What you're able to make out is the crew of folks, and that kind of takes your whole attention, who are chained up here. Manacles that just look horribly oversized and heavy for a bunch of what looks like young hunters. Like, this is like when the guard has a solos expedition and sends up the young people to do a little bit of orienteering just beyond the walls. These are not folks who should be out here in this woods in this time, and they definitely look like they are young people of a very rural space that you've never seen, because this is not in your vocabulary of who people are. But one of the things that you're able to make out, which you also are able to make this out, is these people all seem to have an elephantine look to them. Some actually have trunks, some do not. And some appear to have kind of a curly horn situation going on, which is definitely different. And that probably pulls your attention and is why you don't immediately see these other details of the silver box. But you're pulled in, you're able to see that silver box. What did you roll for your insight?
12.
Okay, 12 is above 10. So you're able to make out the idea that they're gonna leave with this silver chest. They've done some sort of job. There's obvious, I think another piece that you probably picked up is that they have a small chest that appears heavy, but is definitely not of the making of their equipment. It looks much more like the belongings of the group that is currently bringing another sacrificial victim up to the person. Bonnie, with her natural 20,
Jesus.
goes up to you with her natural 33 and whispers in your ear,
I am dirt.
and you yet still don't see her. She whispers in your ear, Trixie, I think it's the box like our friend was in the box.
And I let it in. I try my very, I do jump and I let out the tiniest of eeps.
We are dirt. Shh.
I think I found my place. Oh, my bow. Shit.
I gave her stuff back.
She
Focused on other stuff.
So I still have her bow.
She's in the box.
I'll go check.
Okay, I'm gonna go after.
I mean, I honestly don't know what to do because
Yeah, no. Yeah,
she's gone full ninja mode.
yes, yeah. No.
And she's turned from the most sweet and effectual person in the world into like some sort of turn into a Navy SEAL suddenly somehow.
Yeah.
Green beret.
I don't know.
Army Ranger.
She's
an Army
definitely
Ranger.
she's hit the level of like, oh my god.
Yeah. Okay. Go after. I'm gonna look for the person that you do not.
You can see she's talking to somebody.
Dice down.
So I want to give the two of you an opportunity to confer with each other, since Bonnie very obviously has already pieced out and is trying to investigate a silver box,
Okay.
at least from player perspective, not necessarily from your all's perspective. So you could have a whispered conference probably at this distance without being seen, but if you were to speak out or to be shocked, you would be revealed. So can you use words, because we do have a podcast?
I'm going to. I was getting there.
This is the dude doing the sacrifices, right? That I've already seen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, just point.
With his help, you're able to make out this individual easily enough, because that's what
And then
Like- like with
I
friends?
do one of these.
For those just
For those-
listening,
it's a ooh, aren't you special face.
little penguin arms.
Yeah.
people are so mean here.
Okay.
I'm gonna take out my revolver and be like, do you want me to shoot him?
No, because there's a lot of them. And only
How many is there
three
that we've
of us.
counted?
With your perception roll, there are 16 of the folks who appear to be related to the ritual behavior that's being done, and there's 15 folks
Jesus.
around the silver chest.
15, like,
Well-armed individuals.
I don't know what to do. I don't want him to kill anybody else, but there's a lot of people.
I think if we take out the leader, they might scatter.
Try.
Go in first. And if they're coming at me, then maybe you can try to, you know, cover me. Okay. I'm gonna try to
Give a couple of those. Beep.
more like click,
Yeah.
which is why if he missed, we'd be fucked. I'm going to try to sneak and see if there's a way that I can at least get semi close to the person that he
Okay.
has pointed out to
I'm
me.
rolling very
So-
mid-level today, so it's probably not good. To
I would
try.
like you to roll a stealth check again,
Switch dice.
and you're just waiting in location. Okay. And you don't have to roll anything.
15, I think. I think my +4. Pretty sure.
How close am I to that box?
Yes, it's a 15.
The box is kind of across the tree space enclosure. There's a tiny bit of a clearing around the altar that looks like it was kind of set up. But I think that the box is at the furthest end from where you're at right now. Are you looking at the box right now?
Yes. I was gonna try to see
Roll
if
a perception check.
I could send my unseen servant, but it's too far. 16.
Okay, with a 16, well, okay, too many things to do. Be right with you. Okay. If someone came up to the box from a direction you did not expect and was not used to people coming up to the box from, and seemed to be trying to pry open one side, what would you be doing? How would you react to that?
They're
Hypothetically.
trying to
Hypothetically.
pry open a side of the box that shouldn't be opened in theory, like it's not the lid.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd be helping. I'd be like,
And would you be trying to do it stealthily, or would you be
Stealthily, yeah.
grunty?
well, I assume the other person is being stealthy about it. Like they're trying to be quiet. As a,
Yeah. Oh, this
then
is
yes.
very odd. Like you, the only reason you are aware is because you can hear the nails groan as they're slowly being trying to touch and push.
Mhm. Then yeah, I would also be stealthy.
Could you roll a stealth check for assisting with this moment? And I will have to use the average of those two to decide whether or not this one saw anything.
So wait, sorry, I'm doing one day.
Stealth check.
Just a stealth.
Yeah.
Great.
For you, you are so as much as you're aware, able to get around over there. As you're going, are you kind of paying attention to what the crowd of people are doing? Like, is there a particular group you're watching more carefully?
I'm mostly just trying to make sure that I'm like not stepping on twigs and
So you're very
like,
focused on like what you're doing and stuff. Okay.
yeah, I mean I'm trying to, I mean, as I pass by people, like I want to be conscious of where they're facing, but like once I'm past them, unless I make another noise, I'm probably not going to.
Okay.
Like I'm just going to try to keep
I
moving
just
and
needed
stay.
to know
yeah.
what the general situation was.
Yeah, and like stay in the
What-
shadows and
What you got?
Well, because I have nothing on me, I don't have disadvantage, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a 18.
woo.
Nice. Nice. Not so nice for you.
Bye.
But yeah, okay, cool. So we'll have to do a little strength check between you and Bonnie in a second. You get to, because you can't make out anything, except that they are definitely packing up to go. They've moved themselves in such a way that they're getting ready. They haven't handled the chest yet, but it's clear that there's some sort of sledge of sorts that they've been dragging it with, that they're prepping. It's not currently on that thing, but they're getting ready to place it, put it all together. It's very obvious that that's going on.
Okay.
But you're in position to do whatever you're planning to do behind, I'm guessing, the cultist leader.
I'm gonna get as close as I can, and then I'm going to like.
Their back is to kind of like a throne of trees sort of thing that they've either taken advantage of or cultivated. Who knows how long they've been here. So you're able to get really close
Okay, I want to get within like.
because they also rolled
I want to get within like 5 feet, so like technically within like reaching distance, but for me it's a little bit longer.
Okay.
Enough to do like a. I don't. Have you ever watched like the NBA? Do you know when they go to do a layup and they have like the 1 step and a half?
For anybody who is looking at my face right now, she lost me at Wembley.
Okay. Anyways, when they when they
Sports ball. Okay, so this
Yes.
is the one with those things or something different.
it's
Basketball.
basketball.
Why did you just say basketball? I know what that is. That's
I know, but like specifically in the NBA, like they take these big long leaps.
Because they're all 8 feet tall.
Yes. Anyways, so my point is, I'm taking like 2 giant strides to try and jump up to
And slam dunk him in the head.
No, to I guess how tall is he? Let me roll it.
roll a
Okay.
perception.
Or pep shit. Okay.
Sure.
16.
Yeah, I mean he's taller than you. He's probably twice your height.
Shocker. But I would like to take 2 big steps. I will use Step of the Wind so I can jump twice as high, and I really want to like jump and at least try to get like on his shoulders and like put his head in a headlock between my legs and then just start wailing on his head.
Okay. First job, as this is a surprise attack.
Is this
Yes.
with your tail?
No, it's we've established that my tail is not
Not
very
prehensile.
prehensile.
Yeah,
It's mostly
good
aesthetic.
balance and aesthetics.
Because that would be unfair.
I mean, we just let her have basically free climb on trees.
Ah,
Yeah, but only on trees.
You know, we might find other weird things that squirrels climb, like cement buildings,
Power lines.
power lines. Yeah. So
old birdhouses.
roll your attacks. Roll all of your attacks, and roll the damage as well.
Okay.
I'll handle that all in a moment because it is a surprise. You are going to have advantage.
Okay.
Just roll it all with advantage.
All the attacks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Roll your strength check. See where we get. Ooh, go Bonnie. Go Bonnie. It's your birthday. It isn't, but you.
Straight.
And could you re-roll your perception check if you're still staring at them, or if you're looking at what she's about to do?
Oh.
I would like you to roll a perception check. In either way, which one are you doing? Would you be doing?
What is around The like silver box and the 15 people standing around it. Like, what is happening in terms of objects? Is there a wagon? Is there?
There's the sledge that I described. It looks like that's how they've been transporting it, but they had removed it. There also appears to be a long line of chain on the ground that was what the captives were previously attached to. And there is there's a couple of like personal effects, like the baggage of the people who marched here. In addition to all that, there is the chest that they're holding very tightly that it more or less appears to be their payment for delivery.
Okay. Oh, there's a chest of money.
It's what you would assume to be some sort of transfer of goods.
I like the irony of that. I'm going to, instead of waiting for her to attack, I'm going to try to cause a distraction, although it may happen after she attacks, because he's not watching. I'm going to say, all this murder, no reason to hold back now. Wake up, wreak havoc, and I'm going to cast animating performance on the chest of... Cast animating performance on the chest of whatever it is.
Okay. Awesome.
Chaos.
All right. So this is all coming down, and I might have to have you roll initiative soon, but we're going to first go with your attacks and hits.
The strength was 17.
Your strength was 17?
My strength roll.
No, that wasn't you for you. That was
Oh,
for
sorry.
her.
Sorry.
You're doing your attacks.
Yeah.
I need you to roll your strength check.
13.
Okay.
I'm
So-
tired, y'all.
Bonnie rolled an 18 with +1, so she's doing hot. So with your assistance, you feel the pop, and then you see nothing, but you do see a forest floor, and you have a sudden surge of power. It doesn't restore your spells at this time. You know that you need to rest. You need to recover from this exhaustion that you're suffering under. I mean, you are beyond exhausted at this point, but you see an escape route. What was your attacks? Tell me your attacks.
First one was a 15.
That hits.
Okay. In which case, that's a 6. The second one is an 11.
That hits. Remember, this is a religious leader.
He's a squishy priest.
That's a 9. The next one is
He's
the next
wicked
two, because I would have done flurry of blows, are both 9s.
Okay, those just miss. Just miss. This was not a strong being, but with the 9 and the 6,
Don't forget your bardic inspiration.
Oh right. Can I use it on the second one or not? I can't because I already know if it hits or not.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
fine.
Darn it.
Yeah, gotta not forget those bardic
Sorry.
inspirations. That could have been really cool.
I need to get you like bardic inspiration dice so you can give it to us like a physical representation.
It's whack whack. You have a sense
then
of
I'll-
escape. You've animated a box. What does the box do in this surprise round? Because when we come back from our break, we will be in combat.
Hey!
I don't know if I
Welcome
should
back to the fray. I need to take another.
It's just going to
Sounds like a bunny.
spin up in the air, and the lid's gonna fly open, and whatever's inside is gonna just go flying everywhere.
Total chaos. Okay, I'm gonna have to roll a lot of dice for this. Can you just roll a performance check to see how crazy this box is with your modifier for performance?
That's a 22.
Awesome.
Jesus.
Well, thank you all for joining us. This is going to be a hot mess when we get back. I'm looking forward to the combat. We will be back soon, and I hope you enjoy this terrifying intermission where I tell you really bad folk tales from the lands that we are playing in.
Are we going to come back early and talk about?
We're going to do an intermission that we pre-record. I'm not
Oh,
telling you what we're doing.
We told you last week.
We did. Oh shoot. Take care, and we will see
Bye.
you in just a little bit.
Yet.
Bye.
See you too.
Welcome to Demise. And in this session, we're going to enjoy a little intermission with legends and stories and myths of the people of Atland, this land that we are visiting in our storytelling through Dungeons and Dragons. Now, to set the mood, we need a little background sounds. And to enliven a little bit more, we need a little preview time. Now, to be clear, legends are stories based on real people or events in history or tied to a specific place. They may describe larger-than-life exploits or become exaggerated or change over time. But legends have a strong base in history and geography. While legends are based in history, myths are based on religion or faith belief systems and explain natural phenomenon, rather than telling a historical story. Many cultures have myths describing the same natural occurrences. How the world fell, how the world revived and creatures were released onto the surface. What causes volcanoes and other natural disasters to occur? Myths may include supernatural beings like gods and goddesses, and may include lessons about how to behave. The myths and legends explored here are from people who sometimes can trace their ancestry to the mythical worlds of China, America, Australia, Scandinavia, and beyond. While many scholars debunk or assign these places as prehistorical, they do hold nuggets of truth and seem to have carried forward with their respective descendants kernels of the past that are worth exploring. You may be wondering how my people came to be here. We are very different, and each of us represents an ideal that our forebears pushed forward. We were an experiment, if you believe the tales. Our great mythical ancestors who fought off the raging heat and protected our world created us, splicing their own lineage into that of the beings we seem to represent. This magic was called the magic of Crespa, and is only whispered about these days. There are 12 of us left, and we reenact the race across the grand river to this, our Atland, and place ourselves in prominence based on the winners. We don't recall how many types of being there were originally. Now, the Oinkers, the Dudugis, the Monkey, the Elephantine, the Centaur, the Celentus, the Dracones, the Squirrel Folk, the Cataran, the Ux, and the Root, my people, are all that exist. I also can't imagine what it was like to cross some grand river beyond all scope and belief, one that took weeks to cross. The largest body of water around here is the local stream. And when we hold the competition, we go to a larger river, but it's not difficult to see the other side. In fact, in the dry season, one might be able to hop across in 3 bounds if one could catch perfect surfaces of the stones sprinkled in between. In the original event, the event for survival, not the fun competition we hold now, we all had to cross, and those who did not cross were no more. My people, exhausted already, the rot having taken its toll on us, used our cunning to navigate the water by persuading our deep friends, the Oxon, to let us ride upon them and in their craft. We, of course, made a dash without a thank you to finish, followed closely by our friends, the Oxon, and have forever since then been the subject of some tension and yet joy, as we truly do value the opportunity that the Oxon provided us. We would not have made it across on our own, but we're a little too impulsive to have waited and allowed them their win. The 3rd, 4th, and 5th people who made it across were the Khitan, feline in nature. They went off course apparently, and when they recovered, quite quickly, they were the 3rd to arrive. Next were the squirrel folk. We haven't seen them in generations. They seem to have disappeared. But they also were tired and were almost lost. But apparently some storm blew them in. We wonder if they have tried to go back and repeat the feat and been lost out in the muck of the big seas, places that we have not returned to since our arrival here. A mystery, the idea of water that you cannot see. In 5th place came the Dracon, lizard-like in their affect. They protected some others and thus arrived here with friends. They continue to protect these others from their forest homes. And we grow curious about this relationship. And each year when we gather for the yearly competition and festival, we ask them to invite these friends that they had to join us. And each year they merely indicate that they aren't ready. The 6th and 7th weren't far behind the Dracon. The centaurs, large bulk on difficult to navigate ships, had caused them some grief. In addition, they had accidentally or purposely allowed the Slither people to hitch a ride. They may not have been intended to come at all. They were not considered the greatest beings. But the Snakon, or in the Slither, and the Centaurs, made it in 6th and 7th, though they argue over which was which. The 8th, 9th, and 10th creatures to arrive. The fuzzy and warm Shoop, the monk, and the bird creatures. The three worked together, and they arrived together, each describing their place in the wind differently. Oddly enough, they don't claim to be the first of 8, 9, and 10. They each demur and indicate they were the 10th. Now the final two people, the Dogon and the Snoats. You wouldn't be surprised that the Dogon were distracted and too interested in the sailing to actually try to cross. And they may never have arrived if it weren't for the Snout's interest in encouraging them to finish. The Snouts, of course, took their time as well, but it was time spent gathering resources, and they may have actually rescued all of our peoples. These days, although our names may change and our villages may separate, as is likely to happen any day now, we more or less work together and occasionally encounter other peoples that made it here. It's only been 200 years since the end of the world, and this bright new beginning, though full of strife, has brought us much joy and new experiences. That and strange abilities are starting to emerge. What these will do to us in the next 200 years are still a mystery to be resolved. And so we pass along this story. Our last legend came from the peoples of the interior of Atland. Our next story comes from a waterfront tribe. Long, long, the god of water, and Turong, the god of fire, both wanted to control the universe. Long Long attacked Turong, and their battle raged out of heaven and toppled the earth. After days of bitter fighting, Turong channeled his heat and managed to melt and burn Lulong's army of ice creatures. Long Long was so angry and ashamed that she rammed her head into Imperfect Mountain, a peak that held up one corner of the heavens. Little happened to Long Long's head. She was immortal after all, but the mountain began to tremble, quake, and crumble down around her. A gaping hole opened in the sky. Rocks gashed the ground, flames leaped, and torrents of water gushed from deep within the earth. The whole world was thrown off balance. Terrified people screamed and ran wildly in every direction. Nuwa could not stand by and watch her people suffer. She gathered rocks from the riverbed
and smelted them until they could be molded to fit the hole in the sky. To ensure that the heavens would not fall down again, Nuwa took the legs of a giant tortoise and used them to support the heavens. And then she burned some reeds and used the ashes to close up the cracks in the earth. Thus Nuwa became both the creator of our people and our protector. This story comes from the desert people of the far north of Atlant. One day, Asaya, the son of heaven, sent by his father, arrived at Atlant. He arrived in the heart of the desert, his task to get some delicious ice wine for his father. Asaya walked across the desert, where he encountered a herd of creatures recently released from a chasm in the ground. Strange beings like elephants and some hopping creatures with antlers. He even noticed some creatures striped and some patched. As he continued wandering the desert, he found a village filled with little round huts circling a well. He sought out the chief. The chief was preparing for a big festival. Chief, do you have ice vine? The chief was too busy decorating his mask, turned and looked and refused to share the ice vine. Undiscouraged, Asaya walked on for a long time. He listened to birds singing, disturbed a herd of buffalo-esque creatures, and enjoyed watching some beetles fighting. There he entered a second village made up of little round huts around a well. He went to visit the chief of the village, who was speaking with someone with grand robes and headdress, and asked him for some ice vine. But the chief was too involved in his discussion and refused to give him any. Still not discouraged, Saya walked further. We walked past a pond where some large creatures were drinking, admired a grouping of birds, and even came across a lion asleep. Eventually he entered a third village of little round dwellings surrounding a well. He went again to visit the village chief. The chief was playing with their youngest son and asked her for some ice vine. But the chief was too caught up in her game and refused to provide any. Feeling discouraged, Asaya turned around and started to walk along the path leading back to heaven. It was then that Asaya met a man returning from a hunt. He asked him for some ice vine, and the man gave him some, without asking the simplest of questions. This man never asked questions. Asaya advised, build a canoe without delay. Fill up the holes with mud, set it down straight, and light a fire. Asaya set off again on the path to heaven, happy that he finally had his father's ice vine. Being an individual who does not ask questions, the man chose a large, solid, ancient tree lost in the desert and cut it down, dug it out, and shaped it into a huge canoe. A few days later, feeling proud of his canoe and not yet knowing why he needed it, he went off hunting, hoping to get some further advice. He waits for a long time. A very long time. One evening, while the man was daydreaming and watching the sunset, Isaiah returned. "Listen to me carefully," said the Son of Heaven. "Soon a torrential rain will fall. When the crescent moon appears, climb into your canoe with your family and a few animals." Isaiah smiled at the man and turned away, astonished and confused. The man watched Isaiah drift away along the path to heaven. Still, he did not ask any questions. On a night darker than any other night he can remember, the man finally sees the small brilliant crescent amid the stars. He wakes up to his wife and gets into the canoe with her. They together also place their children, young as they are, a rooster and a hen, a pair of goats, 2 sheep, and a few other animals he finds near his hut, as well as a lot of others that he's caught in the last few days, in with them in the canoe. As soon as the last animal's foot slipped inside the canoe, the rain began to fall. Shiny and noisy, large drops fall from the sky by the thousands. A ring of diamonds flies up, highlighting the way. The rain falls for such a long time that soon water covers the desert, the bush, the houses, large and small, and the distant hills. It drowns all the humans and animals, except for those in the canoe. The man watches the rain falling, not knowing when it will stop, but he still does not ask any questions. There is more to this story, but this is why our people ask few questions. I believe we have one more legend that we can share in this time that we have left. I'm going to go ahead and try to find the spot of this legend. My people, feathered as we are the gift of a brilliant deity. We are the spawn of a drop of saliva from the mouth of a Karigaris and the spittle of the Lunt. We were born in sorrow and into terrible anger. The earth was dark and rain fell everywhere. Rain that was hot and burned the skin. And so we grew feathers to protect ourselves. When our great ancestor majestically set foot upon this, the Atland and first island of the world, ours to conquer and all else to obey and fall at our feet, we exclaimed, and so did they, "This ocean and this island belong to me." Since then we have fought all who have come, our iron beasts able to consume those before us. We never stay somewhere that long and leave waste behind us. Every day we hunt the next. We reach out to gather those who belong to us, and our iron beasts consume. We struggle and are fierce, and our iron beasts take out village and town wherever we go. We are always on the attack, and we shall sink all before us. Soon nobody shall speak of us, for none will be but us. Be it this evening, tomorrow, or the day after, we will win. Never defeated, yet not quite the victor. We will relentlessly attack every day. And now that we come to the close of this section of the intermission, I want to share one last story. This is less a myth and more of a legend, a being that actually existed. And it was told in the first person, a story that was written down and found in a book quite recently. Unsure at this moment, I blink my eyes open and see a herd of helmeted reindeer running across the starlight tundra. Dark, bulky shapes, they have massive antlers festooned with metallic growths. They make great spears and a dangerous stampede. Their hooves crack and snap on the last vestige of permafrost. Fishy-scented breath suddenly clouds the air. I want to run. Low-pitched moaning, whining, growling, and the feral scent of sea leopards cloys my skin. I can't move. I can't breathe. Something rips away the leviathan hides. My body is dumped over. Senselessly, I stare out at the retreating reindeer. Their metallic antlers reflect the moon. My heart heaves into my throat. I stop breathing. I disconnect. An eternity in a second. When I was small, I remember stories of the Latiques, ancient beings who released the animals from the border crevice. I could wish they hadn't released the sea leopards. Sea leopards loved to hide in the thick green and red and yellow. They were immune to the dangerous properties of it. We had to wait for it to subside in cooler weather to sail our boats to the next hunting ground. I remember the elders speaking to us, the children, of the legendary Latiques and their deitic powers of psi and healing. Immortal warriors, those Latiques, locked in an eternal battle with the fire demons, the blackness, and the thick itself. Am I entering the land of the dead? Will I meet the Latiques at the crevice? My chest fills as my heart expands. I breathe. Around me is wreckage of my camp. I need to return to the village and share what has happened.
Really
Welcome
good.
to Probability of Demise, home of load-bearing hips.
I'm non-put to use slogan.
Dysfunctional, or wait, that what? It's not dysfunctional. It's
Out of order.
low utilization rate. Welcome back to the podcast. Inside jokes do not abound. We had too much time on
maybe
break
that's what we apologize. We apologize for our inside jokes.
That makes no sense.
at all. So welcome back, and I believe that in the last half of this show, y'all got to the point of potentially releasing. Not the two of you know that. Releasing the Tanzanite and
Freedom.
also engaging in mass battle craziness. So I need you all to roll initiative while I roll some fear checks again, because I know that we went on break, but instead of actually doing break, I sat next to Jess and soaked up her presence.
Real fast before you roll. When I was taken, can you clarify what of my stuff was on me and what is in the bags they have?
It was what would have been on you as you got off the boat,
Okay.
because this was literally you stepped off the boat onto the docks at Fisherton years ago in Trixie and Asher's world. And were directed to chase down one of the people who had been involved in snatching an book. The book.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's literally what you would have had on your person at that time, and I'm happy for you to decide what that is. I would assume, because you had just arrived in a town and you weren't planning on taking your things off at that point, you hadn't even figured out where you were going to be, that it'd probably be the bare minimum, but that's up for you to resolve.
I ask because I'm wondering where the decanter would be.
Would you have taken that with you?
See, that's the thing. Depending on how, I don't know if we decided on how big it actually was. Like, if it wasn't too crazy big, she would have had it on her. If it was a bigger thing, she would have had it in the bag.
Well, I think the way you described it was a smaller thing that you probably had fashioned a sling to keep
Okay,
it at your
perfect. So
side.
then
or
it would have been on me.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay. All right. So, wow. Well, of the cultists in this moment, seeing the butchering of their leader, 2 remain. I'm just going to speed things along by saying that there's going to be a lot of runners. And of the people chasing money, that's account for 2. They all have to count for 2. Those 2, they're gonna have disadvantage. They're gonna have disadvantage. They're gonna have double disadvantage.
Double
These 3 have.
disadvantage.
Okay. I'm gonna split them into 2 camps. All right. Cultist people's turn. Those people's turn. All right. Wait, they have disadvantage. Didn't make a difference. All right. What did you get for your roll? 7. Sweet. Yeah, you're covered in blood. That's understandable. You gotta de-sticky a little bit.
Busy.
This is a
Initiative.
yeah, mine's also a 7.
You are in a box. You gotta get out.
I gotta get out of the box.
I mean, you don't even know that there's a fight going on. You're just crawling out of a box that
I'm just going, I'm
mysteriously
gonna
opened.
leave.
That reminds me, Bonnie's gotta. Okay.
21.
All right. So let me paint the picture.
So you're going first.
You set this box a spinning. Coins spill in multiple directions. And the person who is holding it just looks up in horror as gems and treasure of some sort, although these aren't coins like direct coinage so much as just precious metals that are in smaller tokens, nuggets of silver and gold and platinum spilling out, little green tinged metals as well that may be of a different sort altogether. And as that spills everywhere, this person who's underneath that spillage just looks up, and a large chunk of something shiny, silvery lands right on their head, and they clunk out prone. Others around them immediately leap into action, trying to grab the coins that are falling, creating a bit of chaos and pandemonium. But two begin to hunt around and look for the source of this mysterious happening. One whose eyes immediately go to the person you've just unalived.
Oh, I didn't know they died.
And
It was only 13 hit points. No, 4. Math. 15 hit points.
yeah, and commoners have 6. Congratulations.
Shouldn't be doing bad shit.
Well, they weren't a commoner, but just scale. The other continues to look around and spots you. And
Gesundheit Schniffel.
as they spot you, they pull out a crossbow and fire. Does I'm guessing this is probably going to hit because you're going to make fun of me for saying this. Is a 21 hit?
Is my phone in my pocket? No. Yes, it does.
Okay.
I was really impressed. I was like, really?
Just barely by
gonna
6,
say, what
7
armor
points.
do you-
He's squishy.
That is 7 points of damage from a crossbow bolt. Same situation for you. I don't think they're going to run towards you. I think that they're not in the mood. You saw that, didn't you? It doesn't hit. Okay. So it shing wide. Maybe they weren't aiming at you at all.
Trying to
Maybe they
scare you
were
away.
just
A warning
Shoot,
shot.
squirrel. Shoot.
putting a show on because they really didn't like that person anyway.
It was a
so-
warning shot.
Yeah, it was a warning shot. Don't muck up with us. All right, so it's now your turn.
All right. I'm gonna pull up my crossbow, aka my revolver of warning. I'm gonna shoot the guy that shot at me.
Roll the attack.
Come on, blue dice.
Bow, chicka, bow, wow. Blue dice.
Okay.
If it's, never mind. Don't give away anything.
Where is
Keep
the
it secrets.
goddamn weapon?
Get back into the
There you are.
Keep the secrets.
22.
That hits. Roll the damages.
I'm sorry, did you say 42?
22.
Oh,
Yeah, let's
42.
Let's get on the mics here.
Yeah, the mumbler has a tendency to sit back from the mic.
How did you roll so high?
16. No. Yeah.
no. Yes, no, yes.
Damage.
Okay.
Yes.
They take that hit, and you kind of hit a fairly vital spot, and you can see that they cough up a second, and there's blood coming from their mouth,
Absolutely not.
and their face just
I'm not
looks both pained and extremely anger filled, angry. They look upset slightly. Okay. In the next moments,
My box goes.
oh yes,
I always forget what's
slam attack.
All right, I'll go.
yeah, it's my
That'll be
spell bonus. I'm just
fashionably
trying to remember what it is. I think
It
it's
should be in
7.
your spells up at the top.
It's not a dress, it's a coat.
There.
Shaka.
So, attack. So my box is going to slam the guy that I just shot.
Okay.
Did
And
it
that
with
is
myself.
15,
I can't do that again.
23.
That hits.
Um,
Stare into the abyss. 4 o'clock. Wallow in self-pity.
Which one's 10?
Spaceship.
I failed.
Aw.
So did you.
Wait. Okay, the spell bonus is to attack, so the damage is 2. So
Okay.
I hope he only has 2 health left.
So like the box comes flying down at him and it hits and slams. And do I have to do a saving throw for anything, or is that in my
No,
dreams?
it's just force damage.
Okay. Hits him at the back of the head, but it's a glancing blow, and because he'd already kind of like bent down as though to like eventually like maybe wrench out the bolt or but realizing that there's not a bolt, it's just a wound and a hole, which not their normal life here.
Haha, sucker.
He kind of just only takes a glancing blow, but you can still see that it hit him pretty hard, and his eyes look dazed for a moment. He's not looking very pleasant with life right now. And that takes us to the cultists group.
Oh,
'cause
joy.
oddly enough, they rolled higher than the
I
group.
mean, our, like, 4s?
Well, yours are extra super. I need to figure out your dexterity in a second.
I think it's you.
Probably.
So
She's a monk, definitely her.
hopefully, so you see
is my dump stat.
the individual that she has just beaten on begins to fall. And the immediate reaction of 2 of them is to step forward towards you. And you're covered in the blood of your victim. And the horror on the other people's faces as they see their leader crumpling to the ground.
I just have this mental picture of this 3-foot squirrel just flying from the woods like.
I haven't had the chance to do it, but I will do my Xena at some point.
And you see the majority of them, including one who is holding on to the next sacrificial victim, drop everything, turn, and they run. Cluelessly, they run in your direction, but they're using their full movement plus their action to just try to race blindly into the woods. I think that you would have an opportunity attack should you choose to take it on 2 of them. So you choose one and you'll get to use your reaction to do an opportunity attack because they're kind of running blindly in your direction.
We'll just shoot one.
It has to be a melee attack.
Oh. I will rapier one.
Stick your arm out.
Okay.
Close line.
Roll the attack.
Poke or a stick.
I mean, technically a rapier is a stick. It's right next when you see
Oh, wait,
your rapier and
Sorry,
your
that's the wrong menu.
plus 8, I think, maybe.
Plus 6.
Plus
So
So
13.
okay, that hits. Roll the attack, or not the attack, the damage. These are backwoods cultists.
11.
It was a backwoods cultist. It's kind of as you said. You stuck out your blade just in time to, and right through the chest cavity. Now
Oh,
cavity.
no.
They crumple over your blade.
Did the work for you.
Pull your blade out, and it was very little effort on your end and plenty on theirs. And
Let's put that
the other
away.
one
Minimum effort, maximum efficiency.
runs by, but you get the sense that they witnessed that moment, and the horror has increased for these horrible people. That takes us to the foolish set of people who rolled terribly, who are going and collecting money. So they are going to they're going to roll a bunch of oh, half of them are doing really well. They're really scooping up that coinage and gems and random other baubles. two of them keep slipping up and sliding around on the forest floor and pulling things together, and don't seem to be coordinating well and tripping each other underfoot. And it's kind of like the half and half zone of the people who are bumbling around, that are part of the more mercenary looking group. All right.
Also, someone's called the fire department.
Yes, but they can't hear that because it's not coming through.
I can hear it.
So that takes us to you, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
as the higher dexterity person. So
See.
what do you do? Now they can hear it.
This is what happens when Asher shows up anywhere. Sirens follow.
Please hold.
We need to have a collective groan. Don't hold. Just keep going. It's not loud enough in the background.
Having dispatched
Bitch.
the leader, I guess I would look in the direction of the one who shot at me. And how far away are they?
They are probably about 60 paces away. They're one of the further ones away from you because they were part of that other group. This isn't part of the cultist group, and you do have two from the cult stepping up towards you.
Okay, so the one that shot at me is not those two.
Different group.
I'm gonna go to those two and engage.
All right.
Engage.
Describe what you're doing. You're close enough for you to get to one of them.
As I run up on them, I'm gonna say, losers say what? And
Whoever says what
That's
is
what.
dead.
I'm gonna go after first.
Roll a performance check just to see how, like, I'm
This is the
using
most
your
amazing
performance
thing.
versus their.
Performance. Oh dear.
Don't forget your bardic inspiration if you need it.
I might.
This is a good one for a bard inspiration, a performance check.
Yeah. Right. It's a D8, right?
Yep.
Okay. So that would. Choo 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 choo.
And if it sucks, we can roll it again and pick the higher.
Uh, 13 altogether. No.
Yeah, plus equals.
No, that is definitely a 13. Nope, I was.
Wow, that was a terrible initial roll, huh?
Yeah, well,
Not my strong suit.
both of the individuals, they look so focused
Mm.
and grim in affect that neither are phased by that and neither pick up the joke, or they pick up the joke but ignore it.
I'm gonna go left.
Okay, so go for left. Roll your attack.
Stairs to nowhere.
We really do need to have a doggy cam. These moments are too precious. The dog here, Boomer, just walked up a set of stairs that are not attached to the couch that she's used to them being attached to, and so therefore made it nowhere.
Okay, first
She's
one.
sweet.
Ooh, first one's a 26.
That hits.
Second one is a 13.
That does not hit.
Okay. And then I still get I can do my bonus action on
This is a
strike,
full combat zone land things.
right? That definitely that's a a 10.
That does not hit.
So 7.
Now you go in and when you hit this one, you can feel that there's a firmness of muscle that was lacking in the cultish leader. And as you take your other hits, you connect, but you connect to leather under their robes. And you realize that this is a slightly more formidable opponent than you might have expected or been led to expect as presented by the other individual.
They're the
Trix-
muscle.
Tanzanite,
See.
you are currently prone in a box.
Wait. Sorry. Can I use
No.
Can I use
I mean,
Step
you
of the
asked.
Wind to?
You use your bonus action to
Damn
get that
it.
extra hit in, so no.
Told you no.
I like you, but no. You are in a box
And it's up like
and
this.
prone. We're gonna just call this prone,
Great.
because it's like at a wonky angle.
Ah,
And you have an escape route where nothing appears to be. That looks like a forest floor of some sort. This is really the first time you've seen outside, and it is nice to have fresh air. But you know you're filthy and gross and disgusting and exhausted and beat up.
I want to use whatever movement necessary to get out of the box. And then I want to do one of those like movie moments where I start to try to like just go, like don't even like look around, don't know what's happening, in disbelief start to leave, but then be like, oh shit, my decanter, and try to find it. And then as I'm looking around, I'll be like, friends.
All right. So first, what I would like you to do.
However much of that I can do.
First, I'd like you to do is like you kind of stand up, you turn to step in a direction, and now I'd like you to just roll a perception check.
Okay.
Kind of want you to roll a nat 20 or a nat 1.
I mean, I could lie and just say one.
I need you to roll it. It's
I'm
more
doing
fun.
perception.
If the dice resolve the situation,
Eh.
Boo, it's a middle number.
oh man.
15.
Okay. With a 15, your pausing moment to look for your decanter is enough for you to glance and see a small squirrel person. Squirrel kind.
Squirtlekin.
Leap from one pulverized corpse and then begin to attempt the same treatment to another individual. And in a blink, you look around and you can still see smoke rising from a gun in the hand of another person you vaguely recognize from oh so long ago, and blood dripping off a blade that they hold in their arm out to both sides as gun and blade
God,
are
he must be the
currently.
most dashing person you've ever seen. in your
Tanzanite just goes, the boy! Oh, the boy. The boy!
And
Just mixed emotions with him. Yeah.
And in this moment, this space, this time, and everything, as everything's coming, Bonnie has held her action, and you suddenly feel arms around you and a deep squeeze.
Oh, 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 ghost. Ow.
And a voice in your ear goes, I'm glad you're not dead, but you smell horrible.
I know.
I think in all of that, I would like you to roll, because I know that your mind is on your decanter. I'd like you to roll just for the zone you're in now, like looking around, trying to figure out where junk is. Roll an investigation check for this, like strictly right around you right now.
Investigation.
Is that a riff off of Dory?
No, that was actually a riff off of South Park
Oh.
Imagination. I think no, it's more like hey, Shad. Not 20.
Yes.
Okay. You quickly spot a canvas rucksack that, well, not yours. You remember the moments, like it just all, it's like you're having those synaptic connections, and it's like you go, oh, I think that's my friend. The boy who, oh, I'm being hugged, and like all this like trickles in, and like your brain just trigger fires as you spot this rucksack. The last moments before I was shoved into that crate and I got that one last message off, that's where they shoved all my stuff. And that's your turn.
Great.
Okay.
The tank is clean.
The tank is late.
It's like he's just zeroing in. That's the bag.
So we're back up at the top-ish of the order. There are still
Top-ish.
fleeing people. There is still the craziness going on, and the two, how I'm going to kind of split this up, unless you individually choose to engage with those who are fleeing of various sorts or those who are collecting coins of various sorts. So I'm going to just brush over them as they're still functionally engaged in those. Their perception checks and their insight abilities are not high enough to realize they're in the HT, and they need to pull their HEA
Wait, can you spell that
out
first
of
word?
the HINEY.
I'm gonna need you to spell all that again.
They're in the shit. They need to pull their heads out the arises.
Heinies was what you actually
Yes,
spelled.
that's what I said spelled, but I wanted to be ridiculous rather than
Ass.
Yeah.
Heiny,
ASS.
Heiny is a fancy word for ass.
yes.
The word of the day is ass.
A-S.
I
A-S-A-S.
Oh no,
AS.
that's gonna be like a new challenge. Every word of the day has to be used inappropriately in the course of the dialogue by the end of the day by everybody at the table. Jess has a new challenge because she's trying to go for
I need the
crazier
umbrella.
things.
There's guts flying everywhere.
Wait, what was the word of the day?
Umbrella. No.
No,
Unicycle.
Unicycle. Why did I think it was umbrella? I'm looking at an umbrella. That's why.
like unicycle. I don't know. But
I don't think any of them would know what a unicycle is.
So I created this thing.
I have this grand new invention. So, those two again are going to go for their attacks. I think that the one that originally aimed at you, Tanzanite, or Trixie, is wow. My brain is toasty. The double T's is refocusing their
Don't worry.
aim.
While you were gone, Rourke called her Tanzanite like 73 times.
Oh God, way too many times. Because of the gunshot and the sound of that refocusing on you. The individual who took the shot and the bash to the head from the chest is going full flight mode. They have the space and the time, and they're going to grab a satchel and just book it deeper into the woods. It's not you. You're not allowed to be here.
She doesn't even go here.
Does a 13 hit?
It does not.
Oh. You got me all excited. So a crossbow goes flying off into the woods as the other individual has reloaded and is aiming your direction. The other folks continue to scour around the ground trying to pick things up. It is your turn. Oh, Asher.
I would like to once again shoot at the person who shot me or shot at me.
The one who shot you before, the one who just shot you.
The one who just shot at me.
Okay, roll your
The other
attack.
one's running. I don't care about him.
Yeah.
That is a 19, I believe.
Ooh, just hits. I mean, I've been sitting on these NPCs for a while. and
7.
It's kind of nice to see them slowly die off.
7 damage.
Yeah, they take the
Good
hit, and
die off.
it's a different portion of their anatomy, but you know it's a wound that untreated could be terrible. And this person looks down, and their face is just one of shock as they look up and they realize that something that they haven't experienced before. But there's also what you would roll an insight check really quickly.
I see nothing.
What you would not notice at all. Anybody else who's staring at this person, please roll an insight check. Okay, no more storytelling for me. Okay, moving on. Okay, so go ahead and what else are you up to?
Oh wait, bonus action. I would.
Does it cost a bonus action to make the chest hit, or does it just hit automatically?
It's its own person.
Its own being.
I'm gonna say,
Can you do the mic at your mouth?
don't sit here and wait. Find good opportunities, or don't sit here and wait for good opportunities. Find them on your own. And I'm gonna cast Bardic Inspiration on Tanzanite.
Cool.
Your friend just filled you with something.
Oh boy.
All right.
Oh boy.
Now,
Oh boy.
Now I shall roll for the box.
The box rolls the attack.
The box missed.
Okay. The box does a loop-de-loop and is looking gorgeous and dumps a few
Here
more
we
coins
go,
out and
loop-de-loop.
otherwise is ineffective in its moment. At this point, the two... Excuse you?
Oh boy, I don't know what's happening.
You're gonna have to check your AC in a second here. You can hear
Evolution of your face.
you can hear the ritualists continue to pound past you into the woods somewhere. Larissa,
I think they might be busy right now.
I'm gonna roll with advantage if she's not careful.
I'm not crying. You're
Actually, I didn't have to roll with advantage, but
I'm sorry. It was just. I'll tell you later.
okay. I'm pretty sure 25 hits,
Yes.
and I need you to. I don't know
Wait,
what's
is it a
wrong.
crossbow?
No, this
Oh, right.
is
Right,
up
the one
close
that's
and
engaging me.
personal.
Right. Okay.
They're right up there.
All
and
up in my business.
as they swing their hidden blade at you, that is a claymore.
Wee!
You take
Hidden blade. That's a. Did you just say a hidden blade? That's a claymore. I'm sorry.
that's as hidden as it
Ow.
can get. That's 19
Points.
points of damage,
Jesus.
and I think you are witness to the other individual running up to the original ritualist, grabbing their ceremonial dagger, holding it up, their eyes all alight. And they exclaim, "Now I am he." And he stabs himself in the chest.
Oh no.
Cool.
That takes us to your turn, actually, I believe.
Yes. I am going to hit the dude that hit me.
Take your hidden Sherman tank. And
Rolls the attack. She has hidden fists of death and a shovel of doom.
Fair. 14 and dirty 20.
Okay, the dirty 20 hits.
Okay.
The 14 is their armor class, so you do hit with that as well. I believe.
Okay.
My brain is functioning a little slowly because somebody gave me cider during the break.
Who could that have been?
It's probably the person I'm trying to kill right now.
For the second one, I would like to do Hand of Harm.
Ote.
Okay, so first damage, 7. Second one is 5 plus 5 bludgeoning plus 7 necrotic.
Okay.
And then I would like to spend another key point for my extra attack, like my last, like my bonus action unarmed strike, to make it a stunning strike. Right? I can do that. I
I
think.
think so.
When you hit with a melee weapon attack, you can spend 1 key point to make a target stunned.
Yeah.
Right.
So go for it's a saving throw, right?
Yes.
What is the save?
Well, let me do the. It has to hit, right? When you
Yeah.
hit with a melee weapon attack. So let me hit. Nope. That's a 10.
Okay.
Son of a bitch.
I feel like with the monkiness, I have mixed feelings, and we should talk later about whether or not when you're going to do a stunning strike, if you have to call it before or after you make the hit. I want to talk about that later. We can figure that out what we're going to do, because it's new enough to me that I want to think about what makes sense narratively. Okay.
Okay.
So
I mean,
just for future.
I'll take the key point. It's fine.
Cool. They're looking horribly rough.
Not rough enough.
Apparently not. Tanzanite. The real Tanzanite.
As opposed to whom?
The
You-
Trixie Tanzanite.
Oh.
What are you up to? Bonnie has released you.
Bonnie has released me. How far from me to the satchel?
It's just a few feet, like you 10, 20 feet.
And how close is that to either of them?
The wrong direction to go to either of them.
Great. Can I?
There are members of this band that you've been in the middle of all around collecting precious items. Because they rolled idiot checks and failed.
Perfect.
You might say they're filtering that money. off
Okay.
the ground.
If I say something
They were filtering
to
the filtered money
Bonnie,
and finding it.
can that be like a bonus action or
You wanted
something?
to what, Bonnie?
If I can say something to her, is that like a bonus action?
Yeah,
Is that a freebie?
we'll call it a free action.
Okay. So the first thing is to Bonnie, I want to say, like, probably Trixie. Yeah. No, I'll just say, go help the others. Please.
Bonnie's been holding her action until you spoke. She puts her hand on you, says, "Shut up,"
Yes, ma'am.
and casts
Sorry, mommy. Sorry.
Cure Wounds at the 4th level using her highest powered thing. And you are going to, because of your exhaustion and stuff, we're going to use it creatively to get rid of 2 of your levels of exhaustion if she rolls high enough. She takes out 1 of your levels of exhaustion, so you're only 1 level of exhaustion, or 2 levels of exhaustion left. But she's using her 4th level spell slot to,
So on this Fancy Dancy app,
yeah.
how many exhaustion levels do I have?
You had 4
I had
originally.
4, and now I have
Now you have
2.
1 less.
I have 1 less.
Yeah,
Okay,
she didn't
perfect.
roll high enough. She
Okay,
sucked at
perfect.
that roll. Oh wait, she got to roll 1 more. Sorry, forgot she was doing it 4th level. Where's the G8? Oh, you got 2 off, so you only have 2
I'm at
levels of
2.
exhaustion,
Okay.
which means you're much more functional.
So my speed is halved, and I have disadvantage on ability checks.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
So I want to thank her, tell her to go help the others. My movement is halved, but I think I still would have enough to get to that thing. And then for my action, am I able to open it, get the decanter, and drink some?
Certainly. Try. So go ahead and
Try.
get over to the decanter. I want you to roll an investigation check to see how quickly or if you are able to find it in this bag. The bag is full of stuff.
Investigation.
Not to rat you out, but I'm still like learning the rules of exhaustion. That's an ability check.
Oh,
Investigation.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You're rolling it with disadvantage.
so disadvantage.
Yeah.
Come on, Mama needs
Thank
us
you.
the wig of water. Oh, great.
I had just increased the DC before for a lot of her stuff, but thank you.
Oh, good. 3.
There's a ton of crap in here. It looks like this is the bag where they stuffed everything from anybody they abducted. And you are seeing unstrung bows, staves that are poking out of it. You're seeing leather gloves, and there's just so much junk in here that you can't tunnel through it all at once in one swift moment. And you realize it's going to take a while to pile through the rest of this stuff. You can spend another action in the next round trying to dig through this to see if you can find your stuff, or you can try to act now or use your actions otherwise. But you realize in this moment there's a ton of junk in here, and it's going to take a while to dig through.
Okay, so then for my bonus action, I'm going to just throw it on me the best I can without collapsing. Just put it on me.
All right. Pretty heavy. So roll a Constitution saving throw. And this is just a saving throw. It doesn't have the same thing as ability checks. So
Constitution saving throw. Shit. 5.
So as you collapse back onto the ground under the weight of this thing, you hear Bonnie say, "When did you become the dweeb?"
Help me. No, don't help me. Help them. But help me.
Oh, a little late now, but you also have bardic inspiration. Don't forget.
Shit.
In the future, don't forget that. I've been sitting here like giggling.
Perfect.
That's your reminder.
That's not, or is that the
But it'll
actual
remind
roll?
me that I have a thing.
Yeah.
That's the 8. Yeah.
Oh, is
All
this
right.
the actual thing?
Mhm.
Oh, nice.
Sweet.
I don't know how it rolls. I've never tried to roll it. It's a weird dice.
This one
You
I
kind of
get.
roll it on the side.
This one I don't get.
I think
It's
it's
like
which
all
one
lined up.
tips up is the.
So
Oh, so it'd be like 13.
I played with the dart and I spun it on the tip of the dart and then let it fall. And I liked that. That was a fun way to roll that dice.
That's interesting. Oh.
Well, I guess
Oh.
dexterity check first. In real life.
IRL dex check.
All right. So after that bit of a mess, it was a fun mess.
I'm back, guys.
The individual who was grievously wounded continues running off into. Wait, did I do everything? Yeah, runs off into the woods even further, kind of beyond sight. The trees are now starting to obscure them. The individual that you just recently shot screams out some orders, and you see the other members of the band start to regather their wits and pull themselves together, and it looks like they're going to be able to create a formidable fighting source at any moment, because there are just so many of them. And this individual is actually going to take advantage of this mess to step back behind a tree, gaining some cover. They are not going to attack in this moment. They already used their action to help people regather their wits. And then that's your turn.
Okay, so if I move like 10 feet to my left, can I see him behind the tree?
The distance the two of you are apart, 10 feet isn't really going to give you...
Okay, if I
much
move
of a-
like my full... If I move the full distance, 30 feet towards... Actually, towards Tanzanite, who's probably like the weakest right now, will I be able to see him?
Tanzanite's kind of like at an angle where you would potentially get close enough to get like a partial view. He'd still have partial cover, because walking towards Tanzanite is really walking towards him at the same time. It's not really walking wide of him.
Okay. So with a partial view, I can still cast Vicious Mockery, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, that doesn't have a
That's
DC check. That's just a visual, right?
Blah blah blah.
That's a saving throw, not a...
If the target can hear
attack.
you, if the target can hear you, it must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, you didn't even have that visual to have them hear you.
But it's the target you can see within range is the.
Okay.
But as long as I can see part of him, it's fine.
Yeah, as long as it's not deafened. Yeah.
What?
Okay.
You gave it away. They were gonna say it.
No, I wasn't. I was
Yes,
trying to
you-
decide whether or not
you
to
took
give
a
you
deep
disadvantage for now on.
Oh.
So after he
For
shouts
the
his
puns
order,
and memes.
after he shouts his order,
Yeah. Wants it to be a punny show and then gets mad when I do it.
yeah, look at them there.
So I
They're
apologize.
furious about it.
I was apologizing on your behalf.
I apologize for nothing.
Okay, so I hear him shout that order, and then I sprint forward
Nothing.
my 30 feet. Then I yell at him, "The sound of your voice grates my spine like chalk on board. Please shut the fuck up." And that's my Vicious Mockery.
Okay. What is the saving?
It is Wisdom saving throw or take 1d4 psychic damage and disadvantage on next attack roll.
What is the wisdom saving throw?
15.
They made it. So
No.
don't take that damage.
That was such a good.
I think that there's a moment where they look at you like,
Oh.
and then they
Oh,
say
I'm rolling. Okay.
that they say to you, "But I hadn't talked to you."
But he just yelled an order.
They rolled an 18, so +1.
You confuse them, but not.
So they're like, They don't get it. They're like, I don't get that. They're too dry sense of humor. They don't get the joke, or the mockery. Cool. So that was vicious mockery. That was your action. Bonus action. She's already splattered. She doesn't use it yet.
I am going to.
Don't worry about me. I'm one with the dirt.
How far
I
is
fell.
Trixie from me?
Oh, you.
Trixie's probably like 45 feet or so away.
Okay.
Not terribly far.
I will say.
You're on your own. And run. Good
I'm
luck.
gonna say, do you have big dreams? Be sure to have the courage to go and find them.
Aw.
That's kind of a combination of those. And you have the reminder dice. All right. That's the end of your turn? Are you using your chest of happiness? The dancing.
Oh yes. That is going. How far is it from the dude behind the tree?
I think with its movement, it can get around the tree and whack him since it was right in his proximity before he ran.
That's what I would like to do.
Okay, so go ahead and roll the attack. And sadly for him, he was unaware of the chest because he did
That
not
is
get
a
hit.
nat 20.
Great. Double the attack dice and roll that chest of smushiness. The chest of walloping.
12 damage.
Low damage. Awesome. So you just hear this crunching, splatting sound behind the tree as his head and the tree discover that they make a great Oreo cookie with a chest.
Who's that chest with the Oreo cookie?
Great. I just
know.
made a bad painting in my own head, and now I'm grossed out and also disturbed and also hilariously finding that entertaining, which I shouldn't.
Oh, no.
So as all that rolls out, the individual that had taken that knife and stabbed himself pulls the knife out of their chest and runs over and stabs the individual you were going after. And as their knife enters the back of the person that you're going after, a black, necrotic looking series of tendrils begin to billow forth from the blade and enter into the person who just stabbed other dude's back, enter into their mouth and throat. And you can smell something that just, it's wrong. It's a serious wrongness. Like when you walk out into a pine forest and you smell the glorious mix of wet needles, the loaminess of the mushroom, but then there's like a skunky smell that sneaks in. It's that type of wrongness, but it's not skunky. It's just, it's something so at odds with the overall scent palette.
It's the dead body buried in the state park.
And as that scent hits in, which is sharper than a dead body, but definitely just not correct,
Are you sure? Because I saw this on.
I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Bard dice.
Don't forget the bardic inspiration.
21.
Oh, don't need.
Okay.
I need no inspiration.
So as you kind of breathe it in, you feel it almost take hold because you just beat the DC. And you get the sense that whatever that thing is would have put you under this individual's sway. But it continues to pour down their throat and they are absorbed in this activity. But you get the sense that smell is radiating out. And as you shrug off the effects, you're fine. You don't know about anybody else around this area. And then it's your turn. What are you going to do?
I'm taking a step back, not outside the 5-foot range, but taking a step back and drawing Le Cheval.
Cheval.
And instead of swinging the flat end, I would like to swing it with the edge. I mean, still going to be like melee.
Slashing
yeah.
damage
Yeah.
versus
Bludgeoning.
bludgeoning. Yeah.
And I'm going for decapitation. So first
Roll
one.
your attack. It will change the DC slightly.
I still get 2, right? Because it's.
We have attack, and
Yeah.
then you have.
I just wanted to
whatever
make
your
sure,
bonus
even though
land
it was okay. And if it's two-handed, does it? I can't remember. Does it change the damage die if it's two-handed?
I think we set the shovel to have a 2-handed attack versus a single. I don't know if it's the attack or the damage that changes, but something changes.
The damage does.
Okay.
Yeah,
So roll the attack
because
first.
it's technically my quarter staff. Okay, so the first one is a 21.
Okay, that hits.
Okay. Nat 20.
Okay, that hits.
And I'm gonna do another unarmed strike just for my bonus action.
Could you roll the damage for the other two first?
Yes.
Before you roll this.
Oh. Me.
And remember to double the dice for the nat 20 that you
Okay,
did.
so first one is the first one is 12.
Okay.
Second one is 14.
Okay. Did you roll that twice for the?
Do you want me to roll
20?
it twice instead of double it? You said double it.
I liked it, the rolling the two dice because
Okay.
it's more fun.
So that would be a 7 and
Cool.
and another 12. So
Okay.
19 for the second one.
So before you do any bonus actions, you see their head fly off as you described, and if you want to describe that moment and what you're doing and how that decapitation is happening.
I mean, it's the first one. I would try to go and probably at least, like, depending on what effect is kind of happening on him. I'm not sure whether now he's feeling if there was damage done. But I would have pulled it out and like done like a side step back to come around the other side. And hopefully the head would be flying away from the dude that stabbed him.
Or that he stabbed. I mean,
Huh?
that he stabbed. Yeah.
No, I'm going after the guy that was stabbed.
Oh, you're going after the guy who stabbed?
Yeah, because that was the
he's
guy that
already
was
dead.
beating on me. Oh.
That stabbing. Sorry, I should have narrated that better, but he's dead.
Oh, okay.
Only the guy with the black smoke coming into his mouth is currently alive in your closest vicinity.
And that's the one that stabbed himself first.
Yes.
Okay. So did both attacks hit that guy?
Yes.
Okay. All right. After that, I'm gonna like watch to make sure that there's like full separation, that none of like the tendrils or whatever like follow the head.
If you're waiting for that, that's going to be important because the tendrils do follow
Okay.
and seem to
Follow the
feed
head?
and oscillate between the head and the body. And if you wait even just a few seconds, you see the head slowly being dragged and the body slowly being dragged back together.
Okay. Can I use like my? I don't know if I can use my. How far away did the head land?
Punt that shit.
About 10, 15 feet away, whatever.
I am going to run over to it, and I'm going to use my bonus action to.
Okay, could you roll? I think this is like an athletics moment, like you're playing field hockey with a head. So roll an athletics check just to see if you're able to punt it and how far.
Okay. I'm not punting it because I'm not kicking it. I am absolutely swinging at it.
Bard
Sports ball.
of inspiration.
Thank you.
Don't forget the
Athletics, right? You said?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like an ability check as a bonus action is kind of fun and generous and more entertaining than.
Wait. No, that's not my
Eight.
Okay. 21.
Head somewhere off in the trees.
Okay.
Really quickly, roll a perception check.
14.
You see that black, whatever it is, has elongated and thinned, but there's still some tenuous connection. And the body isn't moving as forcibly as it was, but it's still somehow being drawn in that direction very, very, very incrementally.
So I'm going to use the last of my movement because I have 55 of it to get in the direct line between the body and where the head landed
Okay.
so that I am prepared.
You are prepared
Yes.
for this creepiness. All right. So that takes us to you, Tanzanite. What are you up to? Oh, sorry. I need to backtrack a little bit because I forgot her. Poor Bonnie.
Aww.
She did not defer her action at this point. She just looked at you and kind of whispered, I can't believe I'm the adult now. And you see a bunch of vines grow up around you, creating kind of a shelter as you are collapsed on the ground with this bag. And they just keep weaving in and around and creating kind of a space of protection that you're within. And as you're within that space, you hear a couple of screams, but you can't see anything because you are encased in a protective grove.
Oh, pretty.
Great. Yeah, I'm not going to fuck with that. I'm going to stay right there.
All right, so,
I'm just going to go. I don't appreciate the sass, but thank you.
okay, so what are you doing?
So for my actual action, I will then try to more thoroughly, in whatever space she gave me, start like, not like organizing, separating, but like getting stuff out so I can find this decanter, hoping that if I drink some, it'll make me feel better. And
Okay, so go ahead and roll an investigation check again. And now that you are protected and less likely to be molested, you can go ahead and do this investigation check. Normally would be advantage because you have disadvantage. Let's just call it neutral. So just roll it straight without any disadvantage.
I don't
Protection.
normally have advantage.
With exhaustion, you would have had disadvantage.
Mhm.
With the shelter created by the thing you're
I
no
see what
longer
you're
being
saying. I
pulled
see what
away
you're
by the
saying.
battle, so I'm going to call it a neutral land. Bonnie's basically giving you a help action through the use of 3 spell slots.
Perfect. What is this? When do I use this? How do I use this? I don't remember.
You can add it to any ability check,
And then you can re-roll
Or
it.
or an attack roll.
or an attack roll. But for the ability check, you can re-roll it and use the higher of the two.
Great. Okay. So use you in a second. Hoopla. I mean, that's not bad. Use it?
No, it's actually a D8, not a. Or is that the
It
D8?
is a
Yeah, she's
D8.
got
Oh,
the
okay.
Oh, wait, no, it's not. It has a 9.
Oh, my bad.
It's a D10. Does it have a 0 on it? I want to see this. This is not like mine.
Here.
Then.
Thank you. Hoopla.
So 4. There's an 8.
Hey!
No, this is a D8, love.
so
That's a 4.
16,
Oh.
That's a D8.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21,
Yeah.
22,
I'm not
23,
crazy.
24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30.
Okay. So
That's amazing.
you dig through, and there's a lot of junk in here that's just people's gear
Stuff.
and hunting materials, and it looks like a bunch of like a pile of arrowheads. And you kind of said you were sorting, so in this like quick rummage and sort, you're kind of like tossing hunting things to one side, tossing armament and other food stuff so over to another side, and then you get to one of your tiaras, and right underneath, it was the tiara you were wearing at that time, is the decanter. There's a slight crack in it, but it's your decanter.
There's a crack. There's a crack.
You can use a bonus action to do what you will with it.
I'm gonna bonus action and hopefully try to drink some.
Okay, go ahead and take a sip and then roll a religion check. The religion check will unfortunately be with disadvantage.
Why? Oh no, where'd I go? Okay. Let's see.
I rolled right.
21. My girl's with me.
As you take a gulp, the first gulp, nothing. But the second gulp, and you feel she is with you and more present than she's ever been before. Like she was untethered without you, and you've retethered her. And later on, we'll do a little side narration of what you experience in this moment. But in this moment, realize that you got 3 spell slots at first level, or 3 spell slots at first level, or 1 spell slot at second level and 1 spell slot at first level restored to you, or 1 third level spell slot restored to
Okay.
you. You decide how you're going to use those
Yeah,
3
yeah.
points of spell slots based on that tiering.
Yes, yes.
All right. That takes us over to the smushed head, but the other one's gathering their wits and pulling themselves together. I think that they're going to have to roll perception checks, which they're all disorganized, so we'll see what... Oh, okay. 2 of them assess the situation, tap 2 of their fellows, and you see 5 individuals just turn as a unit and start trotting off into the woods. 4 folks just blindly start charging at you. These are the 4 who didn't really pay attention to what's going on in class. So they're going to do a blind charge. I'm just going to roll the attacks all once. Does a 13 hit?
No.
Okay, there's only 1 that hits then, because I know the other 2 are definitely not going to hit. So I'm going to roll the damage for a little dagger action. Dagger, stabby, stabby, stabby. You take 3 points of damage from the one who actually is able to pull their shit together. And it's kind of like you see the mass charge, and then it's a fumbling of errors. One actually is like really trying to go in with a long sword and try to get a stab in, but 2 of them trip each other as they're running, and that causes them to kind of have to make a glancing blow, and they miss, and they kind of shing off your armor, your leather armor. But the one that, as that shing goes off, one comes up to the side and just stabs under the armpit and kind of gets you a glancing blow of
There you go.
points of damage.
That's the noise of being stabbed in the armpit. What?
Making fun of my eep earlier.
No.
Oh.
You take that back.
Oh my gosh, they're so mean to each other. Be good. Be nice to each other. Love each other.
She loves me. She just doesn't like me. It's fine.
That does not work. Not today. So with all of that, now I'll do this in the right
I have
order.
paperwork. She has to let me.
It's your turn.
Well, I'm gonna have to shoot the guy that stabbed me again. I'm just revenge shooting people today.
So at point blank range, you're gonna.
Oh, yeah, that's disadvantage.
You didn't get to say it. He's so quick.
I'm
He really
going
knows his character.
to. I think I'm still holding my rapier also in my other hand, so I'm gonna stab the guy that stabbed
Okay.
me.
So you stabbing back. Okay, roll your attack.
21.
That definitely hits. Roll the damage, please.
4.
Okay, they take 4 points of damage. Anything else?
I got 5. Sorry.
Is everything damaging on my bonus action? I don't think that I do.
You do still have a chest of wonders if you want to
I know.
utilize that in a
Oh, I
moment.
will. I just think I'm basically out of. Can I disengage?
Yeah, you could take. I think is that in your bonus actions?
I don't know. Hang on.
I feel like certain classes have it, and my memory is
yeah, I don't
terrifying.
think I do.
It'd be very explicit under bonus actions.
That's it.
Yeah. So what you gonna do? What you gonna do with all that junk?
I was thinking that when you were going through the bag. I was like, what you gonna do with all this
Yeah,
junk? This junk.
I will.
Inside the satchel.
I'm just gonna use my movement to like get away from these. No, I'm not. Damn it.
4 of them. You might be
Yeah,
fumbling
that's a lot
fools,
of-
but that's a lot.
That's a lot of
Opportunity to
reactions. Yeah. I guess I'm just gonna stay where I'm at and do my best,
All right.
and then my chest is gonna hit the guy that stabbed me in the face.
Okay, roll the attack for
Come on,
Yeah.
chest.
the now bloodied, viscera covered,
Net 20.
slightly broken, amazing chest of Boom. Roll the damage, double the dice. That means in my world, roll 2 dice because it's more fun that way.
Hey, where?
I like rolling more dice, even though it's more math rock.
Oh, I did use it. Never mind. I'd be
More
like, I didn't use that yet. I did.
13.
13. Boom. And the dude who stabbed you crumples to the ground. This is close enough to their hit points that it can be a knockout or it can be a kill. Up to you.
Oh, he did.
Okay, he did. All right. So
I'm not giving you people to send to me later. That's
I got a whole continent here. We haven't even gone beyond this continent. I got
yeah, but what
plenty
if
of
it's a whole
people.
continent plus the 11 people I let live?
Mm. There.
All right. All right. So
They
that
kidnapped my friend. Fuck them.
takes us to Bonnie, who again you hear what you see this time as those whipping motions are happening is you see, well, that sucked. Oh no, she gets to add. And then this. What you see is the 3 remaining people around you suddenly have these thorny whips sinking into their necks. And then they're released. And you hear cries of pain, which I'm going to roll as a damage as 3 separate dice because that's more fun. I should just do the averages because it's easier. Why do I make this harder on myself? One of them falls over dead, but the other 2 just have bloody gashes around their necks.
I'm gonna be like, thanks, Bonnie.
When did Bonnie become so strong?
When she's
Well, you
good,
would
she's good, but she's also like
getting a little cray.
she kind of went a little nuts.
Mm.
She didn't take levels in Ranger, but she took levels in something. All right,
Rourke's not sharing.
so that takes us to you, and you got the
dear.
creepy, dark soul thing happening.
I am.
You're up next.
Is there like a fire pit or something?
There's the altar. There appears to be. This does not appear to be a place of camping. It's definitely a place of ritual. So there are a lot of implements of whatever their rituals were, and fire does not seem to have been a facet of that. But could you just roll a perception check to decide whether or not I remind you of stuff?
Does that count? It's not cocked.
You need to tell me. I don't care. You just have to make the rule for yourself and be solid with it.
It's not cocked. It's just not the thing.
Yeah.
What was it? What'd you say?
Perception.
24.
Okay. I think you, as you're looking around for a fire pit, you look down at the body and the knife is still in the body's hand.
Got it. Can I attempt to kick it loose? Like
Sure.
with an attack?
Sure. It seems to be held in a tight grip. I would say that with your perception, you can tell that this is a tight grip. So it's going to require an interesting effort to just kick it free. Like it's a death grip sort of
Yeah.
situation.
Okay. Instead, I am going to take my shovel and I am going to use the flat end this time, and I'm just going to start like trying to hit and like break the grip, if that makes sense, by like breaking the bones.
Okay. Is there
I
a
know.
DC for a prone hand? Roll the attack.
19.
Okay, that's definitely hitting. Roll the damage. How much? How much?
How
Damage
much?
can I-
How 1/8? 122 and an eighth.
Crawling claw. You want to?
Trying to decide what.
Yes. Okay. Oh no, it's 8. That's right, because that's my 2-hand. Damn. Oh wait. I have Savage Attacker. I just remembered this. Once per turn, when you roll damage for a melee weapon attack, you can re-roll the weapon's damage dice and use either total. Yay! That's 8.
Sorry, I'm excited for you. I'm also looking up. I'm looking up how many hit points a hand has. Okay, so
Crawling claw has 2 if you want to use that.
that's a whole different land. This is like trying to obliterate a solid object enough to release the dagger, so I just need to get some interesting numbers. So yeah, as you smash down, you can see that the fingers just break and are bloodied, and the skin breaks, and the hand just kind of releases a little bit. The pinky's holding on a bit.
I'm gonna do it again.
Okay, roll the attack and then roll the damage.
For no. 13.
I mean, that hits because
If it survives, it's gonna have bad arthritis.
it's a bloody mess.
11.
Awesome. So yeah, the dagger is free. It's still on the hand,
Okay.
but you've obliterated the fingers.
Okay. I'm not I'm not kicking to attack. I want to kick it
Okay.
out of the pile of
So you go ahead and
viscous whatever.
kick it. We'll call that a bonus at this point because this is beyond grody. And I don't want to get too narrative on this one. So you kick the blade away from the hand. And as you do so, that black substance seems to thin and slowly dissipate. Okay. It's your turn. You're in a green shelter that's now actually starting to slowly fade. She can't keep out concentration on this too long.
Well, I'm going to take advantage of it still being there while I can. And I'm going to go ahead and at third level, second level.
All the levels.
I need to not be absolutely useless. Okay. So at third level, my one third level, I'm gonna do false life
Okay, and you're casting it on.
myself.
Okay.
Interesting.
Because I can't see anyone. I have not close enough for anything.
All right. So
So I do a 1d4 plus 14 automatically.
1d4 plus 4 temporary hit points for the duration. And you have this kind of necromantic facsimile of life.
Mine says 14.
Do you have a special one because of your deafness?
Probably. I don't
Okay.
know, this is-
Oh, you cast it at level 3, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. You got
Okay.
the bonus of
Yeah.
additional
Okay, great.
points, which I always forget about. So yeah, kind of like in the process of this, you do that.
Oh, that is a d6, not a d4. Here's a d4. Okay, so 14, 15, 16, 17.
Okay. Yeah, you are creepy. And can you describe what it's like when you cast this necrotic visage to bolster yourself? Like, what are they going to seal when you're revealed by the plants?
I don't know why this popped into my head, but I'm gonna just go with it because that's what popped into my head.
That's the best.
Like, essentially, like, have like y'all ever seen like internet art of like Slender Man?
Yeah.
That
Okay, so you're
just
kind
like
of like
very elongated
like
me.
all of your
And I'm
limbs
dark.
just become more elongated, and there's like a darkness around you.
Yeah.
And you're just
Don't know why that is what popped in my
Tanzanite,
head, but that's
the
what
moon
did.
elf. Just the pallid moon elf just becomes even more pallid, seeming by the darkness around her and the extended limbs, and will be revealed in just a moment as Bonnie's spell fades from around her. It's your turn because my other people be dead, and the two that just got hit are holding off and kind of looking at you with like wide eyes, but also afraid to run. It's like they're trapped between, so they do nothing. They just stand there.
I'm just gonna go. Can I use my bonus action first?
Sure. Yeah. It doesn't matter which order.
Okay, my bonus action. I'm just gonna hold up my sword and my pistol and just be like, run. I'm gonna hold my action and see what they do. Like I'll attack if I can do that.
Okay. So I consider that to be an intimidation check.
Okay. I'm not very intimidating.
You have high charisma though.
Maybe.
I was gonna
Ooh.
say it's a.
Yeah, I am
it's a-
intimidating. 21.
Yeah. They look ready to turn tail and run. You're holding your action. Their turn doesn't come until later, so remind me when we get to their turn that they're running away. But they are definitely going to be running.
Okay.
That takes us to
His cabinet.
Oh yeah.
your cabinet. What's your cabinet doing?
My cabinet is going to scoop up one of the squished heads and then dump it at their feet. Or the
Wow.
just to reinforce this urge. to run
Yeah,
the
I mean,
fuck
I
away.
could have given you advantage on the previous thing if I knew that was going to happen, but too late now. All right, so it wouldn't have worked anyways because it follows your action. D&D rules are sometimes not as fun as the painting the picture is. So the cultists are no more. These two are going to run away. I'll let the two of you decide if you're going to do anything before these two run away. Bonnie kind of stops what she's doing, and you see, honestly, probably what happens before you go any further is you see the vines unwrap from around her, Trixie, and you see Tanzanite in this gaunt horror state as she's created this facsimile of life for herself and looks a bit like an undead creature of some sort in this moment, based on the description she gave, but also just based on what's happened. And Bonnie's spell fades, and that's what's revealed from beneath the twisted vines and leaves and seaweed.
And how far am I?
From her, probably like, I mean, you were kind of different sections of the place. I'd say like maybe 60 feet away.
Okay.
Maybe 60, 70 feet away.
I am going. I guess then I will use my motion and bonus action step of the wind.
My motion.
Movement. Sorry.
I like motion. I'm going to use my motion.
I'm going to use my motion.
Motion. Step of the wind, and I'm also going to use my hand of healing to go over and like kind of like do a like no, wake up, don't die.
I love it that Trixie misinterprets this visage as a she's dying. Gotta save her now.
And that is 8 points of healing.
Okay, so you're at max health, but I like the idea that this is what her reaction to your current physical state is. What do you do?
I go, I'm not dead. I'm just tired.
Oh, sorry. You look weird.
Oh, that was
And you
rude and hurtful.
smell.
Yep, continuing with the rude comments. Thank you so much. Just step away. Step away.
And as I turn away, I have one of those like the cat like. But I try to like stifle it because I feel bad, but I'm just like,
You've held your action. These two individuals are turning and running.
Okay. What's going on with the weird body and the?
I got it. I got it. The
Roll a perception check just to see what you saw.
It's magic. No.
O'Reilly.
I would say like you kind of missed a lot of the action going on as it was going on. You may have even missed her stomping and just articulating the hand. But you can see that the knife is laying on the forest floor, just a pace or two away from the body that had been in the hand, and there's no black creepiness cascading out, and the body's no longer moving.
Okay.
But you can see the dagger is on the forest floor.
I point to it and I go, maybe pick it up with something.
We're
Like-
out of combat order unless you're going to do a reaction, because these two are piecing out.
Yeah.
Or a action.
I am.
And your chest.
Oh yeah. Let's see. I'm going to go scoop the dagger up into the chest. With the
So the chest is going to go do another scoop.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, I feel like that's doable, and it now has a
It turns on its side.
it
and gets
has
the
like
handle.
the viscera from the skull that had been in it a second ago, and now it's kind of completing the picture of this dagger and its recent life. Just this mess of brain matter, blood, and dagger inside a chest that used to hold treasure.
Yum.
Gotten however it was gotten. Probably blood money. There are several individuals still living who are still chained up. Most of them appear to doing their best to hide themselves from you all, although they're still chained together, so they can't really hide themselves, but they don't know what to expect, and they all appear to be honestly probably about your age. They're young
I'm
people.
gonna be like, "Hello, would you like me to let you out, or free you?"
You get shivers in response and people ducking under. Your friend is looking ghastly.
I'm gonna walk over to the group and say, somebody hold out your chains so I can try to break them. Do I need to be persuasive?
Roll a persuasion check,
Is there,
because
like,
I feel
one-
like they're very nervous at this point.
Is there one lock that is like holding them all, or is it?
Similar to what you saw before, there was a chain that was laying out. I think one of you saw the chain laying out.
I did, yeah.
And there's another chain laying beneath them. It's like they got removed from one linkage and they got attached to a new linkage. So there's a chain that's laid out on the ground. Each one is.
Natural 20.
You break a chain, and this individual who's attached at this point just. Well, let's see. Let's roll a Constitution saving throw and see what they do. Because do they run or they faint?
Good.
What? Oh. And I kind of like
Trixie the
take
squirrel,
stock.
breaker of chains.
Breaker
I
chains.
take stock of what I probably look like covered in.
Viscera, blood, brain matter, parts of fingers.
And I'm gonna like attempt to like
And she says I was smelly and gross.
smooth down my hair. Hey, I haven't had time to smell yet. I'm gonna like try to smooth down my hair and like shake like.
There's one individual at the back of the line who's like, as this whole thing is going down, they seem probably the most alert and least affected, and possibly the youngest, and they're just watching the interplay.
But I'm gonna just like if people come up, I'm gonna offer to break the chains or whatever, like help them get free, whether they want to like additional manacles or whatever.
They've witnessed a lot of their friends killed, sacrificed. So very few of them are willing to come forward, but that person at the end of the line, kind of seeing what you seem to be offering in general, just holds out their arms.
Okay, and I put it in a convenient place, and I
Yeah, it's easy. Yeah, I mean, chopping at this point with time and no current stressors and such, they're free.
Are you I mean, I know you're not all right, but where are you from?
Well, we hunt for our village, and we were out here. I mean, we're like, I don't know, we were 2 days out on our hunt, and we're headed back when those people, and he points towards the folks who had Tanzanite trapped, caught us at night. It's like we were headed back, and something about a quick contract.
Okay. Do you think you can make it back home? Do you need food? Is there anything? Do you want to stay here and rest?
I mean, I'm strong. I can do. I can. I'm good.
Aw.
Okay. Do you think you can lead the rest of them? They seem kind of out of it. Insight check.
Roll an insight check.
Whatever. That it's in response to whatever you say.
Roll an insight
Okay.
check.
16.
They kind of take a breath. I got this. Yeah. We can get home. We'll tell them what happened to our friends, and I can get us there. I know where to go. And looking at him, he's totally unsure of whether or not he's going to be able to do this. But it's also, I think, with the 16 and with his crappy deception roll, you're able to make out that he's going to make it work one way or another. And he's kind of now taking your suggestion as less of a suggestion or a request or a check-in and more as a challenge. And he's going to do it. And you see him kind of like usher up some of the other young people. He starts off with a woman that's slightly older than him, and he just starts like bringing them to you to get their chains broken. But over the course of an hour or two, depending on what else you're all doing, they're free, and they start to they go to the bag where you've kind of like somewhat sort of stuff, and he kind of steps up to you and he's looking up at you.
I just roll away and just lay on the ground. Ow. And I just go, there's your stuff.
Thank you.
That spell.
Please don't breathe around me. You'll regret it.
That spell only lasts an hour, right?
Which one? Yeah, but we're play into it because it's ridiculous. They yes, great leash, and they begin collecting their things and
No, never mind.
trucking their way out.
I'm gonna like encourage them to grab the money that's scattered everywhere. If they
Roll a persuasion check.
24.
Yeah,
No.
they collect.
I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. That was mine anyways. So
They collect it. Like a couple of times, a couple of them like look at you and like, it wasn't. Okay, yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure it was paid to somebody to get you, so you should just take it.
Okay, that makes sense. And it's the kind of the spokesperson of the group starts to go about that.
Question. The decanter that we have, you said it was like cracked. What is it like made of again? And like what of it is cracked?
It was from what you had looked up and chosen. It was kind of like a crystal looking container, and you just the lid just seems, or not the lid, the neck of the vase just seems to have a cosmetic crack on it.
I'm gonna from like laying down as they're like leaving, I'm gonna hold it up. I was like, does anyone know how to fix Crystal?
There's a bunch of side looks, and that young one kind of comes up again. Great one. Let me look. I'll try to look.
And give it to him.
He's holds it. Can you roll a religion check?
Oh no. Oh no. Nope, still not at the right spot. All right, now we're at the right spot. Ha! 14.
Okay. I think what you get out of this moment is you've been having your goddess kind of coursing through you, paying more attention than it's just like this is like a reconnection. She's still there, and we'll get through the little narrative separately at some point because we're gonna wrap up. But you see his eyes look up, and his eyes glow the same as your eyes usually look suddenly, from brown to matching your eye color. He bows to you. And you hear a voice in your head say, "Your followers are my followers. You are my priestess." And then he hands it back to you. And the crack is still there, but it seems to have like a little golden gleam along the edges.
Oh, I love that.
I couldn't fix it, but I will your will.
Yeah, this is great. Thank you so much.
Yes, great one.
So, in my head, it said what now?
Your followers are my followers.
Your followers are my followers. But it was in my head. Did it feel like it was coming from?
Felt like your goddess.
Your followers are my followers. Okay. I'm just gonna take my decanter and try to figure out my life.
So they now will check off unless anybody else has anything for else to do as they go back. And they head in the direction of the village that you were kind of aware of. It's still like a day's journey out. And at this time of day with all the battle and everything, it's and the transpirations afterwards, they'll probably make it halfway there before nightfall. And then hopefully either camp or try to trek through the night. Hopefully they'll just make camp. But you get the sense that they'll be able to hopefully make it over there. I need to end us now. So when we come back, it'll be with a bunch of hunters returning to their village. You all gather together and decide what you want to do from there. So thank you all for a really good session. And thank you for watching.
Thank you, friends.
Yeah, human gore smells are a thing.
Human gore smells right away. Oh, good to know. Thanks. Thanks, Andy.
That's information she needed. That was important.
Thanks.
Trying to say I smell bad.
All right, folks. It was lovely to have you all here. Good night and have a beautiful day.
Okay,
Bye.
Bye.